transplant. The good news is that you have the power to check out how well your kidneys are doing and learn ways to prevent them from failing. So go to your doctor and get yourself checked out. Visit linkbylovetv.org to learn more. Get the facts, get checked, and get healthy.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat. Emmanuel Acho keeps reinventing himself. He's one of the most visible NFL analysts today and shot to fame with his show Uncomfortable Conversations. But Acho's latest iterations would not have been possible without leaving the NFL, a decision that started with him being super honest with himself.
I looked myself in the eyes in the league and I said, okay, Acho, you're not going to be a Pro Bowler. You're not going to be a Hall of Famer. You're not going to be an All-Pro. You've played 4 years in the NFL, vested pension annuity. Leave while you still have your health.
That's Acho speaking on a recent episode of The Deal. That's an unbelievably tough choice made easier by a text message from 2016 that Acho keeps on his phone.
It's a text from the Buffalo Bills. And the Buffalo Bills were like, hey, Emmanuel, we want to bring you in for a workout. Send us your social security number and your license. I never responded. Why did I save that text message? Because I wanted to remind myself I walked away from the NFL. The NFL didn't walk away from me.
Acho's latest project is a late-night sports show on YouTube. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
Pros, just because something on the job runs out doesn't mean you have to. Order it on the Lowe's app. My Lowe's Pro Rewards members get free same-day delivery on eligible orders over $25. Get the fasteners, hardware, or tools you need to keep the job moving. Order by 2 p.m. and get eligible in-stock items delivered right to your job site by 8 p.m. Members get more at Lowe's. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Subject to availability. Restrictions and terms at lowes.com/shipping terms. Subject to change.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
The views and opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect that of the staff and management of Good Karma Brands, but are the sole responsibility of the host and guests of this particular show.
America may have many, many days, but they will be full of trouble. There will be no rest. There will be no tranquility in this country until the nation comes to terms with our problems.
Bringing you social and political commentary from his mouth to your ears, breaking down the issues which matter to you.
You are not put here to be a white man's footstool. You are put here to represent the very best in God's word.
Legendary civil rights icon, the Reverend Jesse Jackson in the studio. Reverend Jackson, how are you?
Sherwin, good morning on this chilly Milwaukee morning.
And I am pleased to have one of the founding members of the Black Panther Party, Chairman Bobby Seale. Mr. Chairman, how are you this morning?
Good morning. I'm doing just fine. Thank you.
From Mr. Eric Holder. Mr. Holder, so good to see you. How are you?
Well, I'm fine, man. How you been? It's been a long time. Haven't seen you for a while.
The Dr. Cornell West. Dr. West, how are you, sir?
My dear brother, you're so kind, you're so generous, so man, but I salute you and the work that you were doing there. Doing a magnificent job there in Wisconsin.
Stream live on 1017thetruth.com. Call in with your questions or comments. 833-212-1017. Join us on social media at 1017 The Truth. It may not be what you expect to hear, but I will definitely give you what you need to know. Are you ready for the truth?
I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Sherwin Hughes.
Good morning. Welcome to the program. Today is Thursday, April 9th, 2026. So if you're watching on YouTube, you're going to see the title of this show. And there's no wrong answer. I'm asking a question. We titled the show a question. It used to be a popular question or maybe a popular statement. It used to be almost universal in our conversations about life and about politics and about the social structure in this country, because it is a bit of a two-tiered social structure. It always has been. Now it seems the tiers are, do you have a lot of money or do you not have a lot of money? And before, it was such a classist society. Like now it is an obvious and overt classist society. It was a society that was shaped by the race of an individual because we could deny you, we could arrest you, we could take your rights away from you if you were a non-white person. And for a while, it was totally legal, it was legitimate, and it was expected. And so time goes on, history goes on. There's a lot of fighting and marching and protesting and a lot of political legwork, a lot of elections, a lot of politics, and then black people started to get not rights, but some protections, because rights are still always under consideration, let's put it that way. And I say that because for a very long period of time, in fact, 50 years, women had a right, and nobody talked about it really. Nobody questioned it. They had a right to their own healthcare decisions until they didn't. So it was a right, and it was understood. It was a preservative right, even. It was what the courts called settled law. Yeah, we don't touch that. We already settled Roe versus Wade in 1973. But then there was an experimentation. Can you fiddle with a fundamental right of the largest cohort of American voters and get away with it, at least temporarily? And the answer is yes. And what I saw with that is that if they could fiddle with that right, a woman's reproductive right to her freedoms, then any other right that existed could be relitigated. And so my antenna went up and I just stayed very, very mindful. And I think if you see the actions of this current administration, even going back to the 45th president of the United States, he is now 47, there seems to be a fiddling with people's rights and things that we always expect to be untouched. So there was a period of time where if the police, and there's been an adversarial relationship with, I'm not even going to say black people in the police, poor people in the police. Rich people don't get beat up by the cops. Not very often. Or maybe they do and just no one is around to film it. If you did a brief demographic overview of the people that are in maximum security prisons or on death row, some of our most violent criminals, lifers, a lot of them are not very wealthy, if you care to notice that. So there's always been this adversarial relationship. And also, the police defend private property. That's one of their reasons for existing. They got a few other reasons for existing. I think they get kittens out of trees. I'm not sure who you call anymore. Maybe that's the fire department. I'm not sure. But it's to protect private property, and if you don't have a certain amount of money, a certain amount of assets, or any collateral, you can't own any private property. Maybe you're likely to take private property or trespass on private property or steal from someone's private property. Speaking of private property, I have a scenario I want to work up for you. I want to get some kind of maybe validation. That's what I'm looking for. So we had a bunch of grocery stores closed in the last year or two. People got very upset about that. I'm not working up the situation right now. I'm going to talk about it later, but I want to get your prep for it because it's been kind of on my mind a little bit. So a bunch of grocery stores have been closing, and then like it's a food desert thing. Like we don't want deserts of non-food. So the city of Milwaukee is working actively to mitigate food deserts. The Aldi that closed on Sherman and Custer, I call that a northwest-ish, north side neighborhood. A lot of people got very upset about that. In fact, one of our avid listeners, a fellow named Alan, called in and expressed his disgust with the closing of that Aldi. And then there's a quote in one of our dailies here in the city of Milwaukee from Alderwoman Andrea Pratt. And Mark Chambers is also quoted in this article as well. The grocery stores have to now, by city ordinance now, so if they don't do this, they're breaking the law. They have to give the council a 2 months notice before they close, because the Aldi that closed, there wasn't more than 48 or 72 hours worth of notice to the common council. And the council members feel, or at least the alderperson of that district, which I believe is Alderwoman Pratt of the 1st District, she believed that was unfair, that the grocery store, that Aldi should have alerted city officials with more than 2 or 3 days notice. So they passed this ordinance to where now grocery stores have got to let the community know or let the elected officials know 60 days before they plan to close. I am not all that comfortable with the city of Milwaukee being so involved in grocery stores and in private business for that matter. And so they're working with whoever's going to be the proprietor. The article is here somewhere floating around on my busy computer screen. They're working with whomever is going to open up what used to be a Kohl's or maybe a Century on 64th and Silver Spring, the West Lawn neighborhood. And the city, of course, is working out some kind of deal. I don't know what the details of the deal are, but I'm not so crazy about the city of Milwaukee being so intimately and intricately involved in this private business for a couple of reasons. Look, I get it. We got to have grocery stores. We don't like the food deserts because it's a desert where there's no food. And you got to get the fresh fruits and vegetables, and then it's looked at as a public health issue. Maybe it's a racial issue because in the Black African-American community, you can't get a lot of fresh strawberries and blueberries, carrots and celery sticks because there's not a lot of places that sell that. And I get it. You got to eat healthy to be healthy. And if we are closing or someone is closing grocery stores where Black African-American people live in our neighborhoods where we can't get blueberries and pineapple. I went to the store the other day. I saw a pineapple upside down. What does that mean? Does anybody know what that means? X, do you know what that means if you see a pineapple placed upside down in the pile of pineapples?
Yes, I do.
Really? I thought it was very odd. Well, what I did is I saw the pineapple. I said, well, this looks out of place. And I turned it back right side up. But we don't have a lot of places to get pineapples here in the Black African-American Negro community. And so that's seen as a public health issue in the city of Milwaukee. I'm making this longer than it needs to be. Grocery stores have a profit margin of 1%. Okay? And they have to be perfect. They can't have a mouse, a rat, a single roach. And grocery stores are very big, and you can't perfectly seal them. So you got to think about this for a second. If the city of Milwaukee is working a deal to bring a grocery store here, the city of Milwaukee also is involved in regulating that grocery store where they have a profit margin of only 1%. There could be some days in which a grocery store makes zero money because people are stealing the profit margin. Let me give you a better example. Somebody can spend $200 on the groceries, yeah? $200? Maybe some of that is bought with SNAP and EBT, in which the grocery store gets reimbursed later. So they're basically loaning that food out until the Trump administration reimburses or the state reimburses for the person's SNAP benefit. So that means no profit until the state government or federal government pays them back. So keep that in mind, too. And the grocery store's got operational costs. They got delivery costs. They got to pay their staff. They got to pay their utilities. So think about the cost now. So if you pay, or you buy rather, $200 worth of groceries, which nowadays, that's not a lot of groceries now. And the grocery store's profit margin is 1%. And people are going to steal. I don't steal. I sometimes forget things on the bottom of my cart. Why is my phone ringing? I'm working. I should answer it, actually. No, I should not. I don't know who this is.
Depending on who it is.
Exactly. Your number ain't saved in my phone. You're not going to get the luxury of an answer.
It could have made for good radio.
Yeah, it depends. There's somebody that clearly doesn't care I'm working right now. Maybe I should turn my ringer off. That's the start of how I should do things.
It's probably one of those people asking to buy your house.
Every day I get a thing. Anyways, about the grocery stores. Somebody buys $200 worth of groceries. Let's assume in this cart of $200 worth of groceries, it was all paid for with cash or a debit card or a credit card. Oh, and there's a credit card transaction fee as well. Remember, the grocery store's profit margin is single percent. Your $200 worth of groceries, do you know how much profit the grocery store made? $2. If the city of Milwaukee is going to be heavily involved in bringing grocery stores here, like making it easy for them or giving them land deals or something, or the city of Milwaukee is going to provide some tax money so the grocery store can do like landscaping and do facades and all this other stuff, but at the same time regulating that grocery store, I don't know if that's a good look, because here's the overarching question. What does the city of Milwaukee do well? I have no other strings attached to that question. What in this whole city, and don't just look at one neighborhood versus another. Don't just look at lakeshore communities. Don't just look at the north side or the south side or the east side or the west side. What does the city do well? When you come to Milwaukee, or if you live here like I do, like many of us do, what do you wake up every morning saying, dag nabbit, I sure love it here, because the city, does this well? What do we do really good? And if you can't answer that question, do we want that same entity, the city of Milwaukee, which is big and a lot of bureaucracy, and there's a mayor and there's 15 legislative districts, and then you got a city attorney, and you got all these different departments. You got a health department and a department of neighborhood services and a real estate department, and you got a fire department, and you got a police department. There's many departments. What does a city do well? And if you can't list a whole bunch of things, being involved in private business is probably not one of them. So let's table that, shall we? I just wanted to preview that because I'm going to get into that a little deeper. But start thinking about what you believe the city of Milwaukee does well, and should it be involved in bringing businesses, even though grocery stores are needed. Remember, the grocery store only has a 1% profit margin. So what if the city works hard to bring the grocery store here and they got to close? Because they're only making $1 per $100 worth of groceries that are sold. And people are going to steal. And I'm not saying customers steal. You know who the thieves are. The thieves are the employees. You know how easy it would be to steal a can of Campbell's soup if you stocked the Campbell's soup? I bet, oops, I don't know what happened to this can of Campbell's soup. I put it in my smock. Because, you know, grocery store people, you got to wear a smock with pockets in it. Oops. They're the ones that steal. You're back in the stock room with 74 pallets of Campbell's soup. And you might be looking at this sky-high pile of Campbell's soup and thinking to yourself, and it's a legitimate thought, I would love soup for dinner tonight. I see 74 sky-high pallets. You can climb on top of the pallets. And there's so many cans of soup. And you just, boop. You just get one. That's the profit margin. By taking that one can of soup, that's the profit margin that would require somebody else to buy $150 or $200 to $300 worth of groceries. So I just don't know if the city of Milwaukee should be involved in bringing grocery stores here because the profit margin is too thin. And then when that grocery store ultimately closes, because the cost of food is going up, tariffs is making everything more expensive. It costs more money to put the diesel in the truck. And then the truck has got all the strawberries and the blueberries and the tomatoes and the celery and the asparagus. Asparagus makes your pee smell awful. I don't know what it is. Have you noticed that, X, that you never had asparagus pee? Try it. And I love asparagus.
I said that through the other thing. I don't eat enough of it to have that happen.
All you need is to eat one stalk and you'll be able to notice. Anyways, I'm getting off base. Do Black Lives Matter still? I'm curious. I'm going to provide some information where it seems like they don't matter as much as they used to. I'm all over the place, and it's only 9:18. This is going to be a hell of a show.
Yeah, how are you smelling your pee?
Asparagus pee? Oh, no. It wafts. So you've never, you must not eat a lot of asparagus. Clearly you don't.
Only
Everybody that eats asparagus.
Italian food.
The Italians use asparagus?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Some asparagus with your chicken Alfredo?
All right, then. Fair enough. I'm going to take a break, come back, asking a question. Do Black Lives Matter? There's no wrong answer to that question. You can absolutely say no. Or you can say yes. Or you can say all lives matter. Is that what our poll says, X? All lives matter? Is that one of our options? I probably should.
No, it's only yes or no. Do Black Lives Matter, yes or no?
How many people voted? 30 people voted. All right, let me see what it is. So I'm going to select yes because I'm going to. 23% say no. Can we, while we do this, can we take it down and start it over? Because I want to.
Yeah, we can do that.
I want a third option because you can't add a third option once you have this. So sorry, 30 people that voted. We're going to change the poll. Do Black Lives Matter? It's going to be a YouTube poll. Go to youtube.com or open up your YouTube app from your smartphone or other mobile device. Search 1017 The Truth and hit subscribe. Do Black Lives Matter? Yes, no, or the third option will be, do all lives matter? Now I want to see what that breakdown is going to be. I want to give people the third option because yes and no is just, we need more flexibility. Okay, I'm going to take a break, come back, and we're going to ask the question, do they matter? We'll find out. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 FM. We'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, it's that time of year again for the Tory Lowe Community Cleanup. Mark your calendars for Saturday, April 18th from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. as we'll be cleaning up the city of Milwaukee. You can also safely get rid of hazardous household items thanks to MMST. Drop off your items from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. at MLK Elementary School. We're talking things like all antifreeze, paint thinners, batteries, and pesticides. Sign up now at ToryLoweCleanup.com. The Tory Lowe Community Cleanup is sponsored by Milwaukee College Prep, Steinhoffels, Cousin Sub, and Waste Management.
Hi, this is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth, and I want to talk to you about something bigger than just buying a house. I'm talking about building a legacy. Owning a home isn't just about four walls and a roof. It's about giving your kids a place where memories are made, where birthdays are celebrated, and where they always belong. It's about planting roots, knowing your neighbors, waving from the porch, and being a part of a community that feels like family. If you've been renting and wondering if home ownership is even possible, Axe Housing is here to work with you. An Axe Housing coach will help you create a plan, a budget, and move step by step toward owning a place you can truly call your own. They've already helped over 4,000 families become homeowners, and many are paying less than they were paying for rent. Don't let where you are today stop your family's tomorrow. Start your journey at axehousing.org. That is ACTShousing.org. Your legacy begins at home.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Can't tell me this shy FX don't hit hard. Like a sledgehammer. All right, black people, do your lives matter? There was a period of time in the city of Milwaukee where it seemed like there was an unusually high number, or maybe it was just the frequency. Maybe it didn't happen a lot, but it just seemed consistent where there was an officer-involved shooting. And these were very memorable because they would come with really big protests where there would be arrests at the protests and large gatherings at different parks, large gatherings at Red Arrow Park, in which they tried to name Red Arrow Park after Dontre Hamilton, who was killed in Red Arrow Park in April of 2014. That, of course, did not go anywhere because Red Arrow Park is named after like some World War II people or something like that. But whenever there was an officer-involved shooting, we got really, really angry, and you saw the signs, Black Lives Matter. I remember he's no longer an elected official, but Khalif Rainey served on the County Board of Supervisors. Then he ran for alderman of the 7th District, which is now DeAndre Jackson is the 7th District alderman. So this is some time ago. And when Khalif Rainey wore a Black Lives Matter t-shirt to a full meeting of the Milwaukee County Board of Supervisors, it was controversial, and the news cameras were there. And then it was I Can't Breathe. That's what it was. There may have been other elected officials that wore Black Lives Matter t-shirts, but then there was always someone that wore a t-shirt that said All Lives Matter. But I remember specifically when former County Board Supervisor, former Alderman Khalif Rainey wore that T-shirt, and a lot of people wearing those T-shirts. I Can't Breathe. That was Eric Garner in New York City. He was killed because he bought a loose cigarette, I believe, and that's illegal. So he had to get choked out. He died, and he was saying over and over and over again, "I can't breathe. I can't breathe." It was very sad. He was telling these police officers he couldn't breathe, and they killed him. And so there were T-shirts that people would wear to show their support. Not just for Eric Garner, but also if a society is suffocating you, and you don't have to believe me when I say a society can suffocate people. I have some details about Milwaukee-specific neighborhoods where it seems, and once I provide this information, somebody is suffocating somebody, but I'll get to that in a little while because I want to back up what I'm saying with some actual details that are irrefutable. Then Deanna Alexander what the T-shirt that she wore, it was either because it was in response to I don't know what she's doing now. I don't know if she's in the assembly or she's on the county, but I have no idea where Deanna Alexander is. She wore a T-shirt that said, I can breathe fine, or I breathe okay, whatever her T-shirt was, but it was a pushback to Khalif Rainey wearing the shirt saying, I can't breathe, reminiscent of Eric Garner. This guy named Michael Brown, Ferguson. Ferguson was hot for a while. Remember Ferguson? A lot of protests there because a police officer said that Michael Brown, I don't know, punched him in the face or beat him up. But then when they did the details of the autopsy, Michael Brown was like 20 feet away from the cop when he shot him. A guy named Freddie Gray in Baltimore. So these were all happening. Some were local. Obviously, Dontre Hamilton was local. There was other local ones. And this goes back, as far back as you want to go, there's been the harm of a member of the community, the black community, by a police officer that drew public outcry. And then we arrived at the point, do black lives even matter? Because if you can look at some of the social situations that black people find themselves in, like our education levels are always lower. Our kids are always performing worse. They're always behaving worse. There's always more poverty. There's always more food deserts. There's always more dilapidated property and burned out property and houses that should be torn down, and the overall appearance of where we live just looks terrible. We got to have neighborhood cleanups because there's garbage that's floating around too. Do black lives actually matter? We used to protest to try and get people to wake up. A guy named George Floyd, he had a really, really bad day, and we all had a bad day when we saw that video. It was torture to watch. And there were protests all over the world, and they were all saying the same thing, and then even businesses joined in, however temporary that was. They would display signs of support. You could drive all the way through the suburbs and people would have the yard signs or maybe a placard in their window. Do you guys remember that? It seems like that world doesn't even exist anymore, where people would proudly display their Black Lives Matter support. And of course, there was some argument, there was some debate, and of course, it was also political because one political party would think, oh no, all lives matter. And then they got real fancy with it and they said blue lives matter. That is the one I think I push back on the hardest, because you decided to be a cop. Your life, and I stand on this, if you make a choice, and the choice has risk, but you made the choice not under any stress, not under any duress, nobody forced you, nobody required you to be a cop. You weren't drafted to be a cop. They didn't walk into your high school and be like, not you, you're too fat. You have asthma. No, you're a girl. And you're going to be police. That didn't happen. You decided that you wanted to be that. So your life does not matter more because you made a decision. Like, that's cool that you do it, but also you got to be real good at it too, because it's cool that you do it, but if you're bad at it, you're going to cost the taxpayers money. You're going to damage the reputation of the profession, and you might be a killer. So I'm not just going to say universally blue lives matter. And some of them folks, you know who I'm talking about when I say them folks? They see a cop, they're like, thank you for your service. What if he didn't do nothing but write speeding tickets? Don't nobody like to get a speeding ticket. Oh, thank you for your service. Dude ain't in the military. He's going to be able to retire after 25 years and have a pension that we're going to be paying for forever. Slow down on the blue lives matter. They made a choice. But it was a contrast to do black lives matter. And I think that the blue lives matter was like, screw you black folks. No, cops matter more than you do. But do you guys recall, I'm trying to get you back thinking, reminiscing, being nostalgic about a time when there was an officer-involved shooting, whether it be here or somewhere else. Not only did it make national attention, but the protests were robust. And some of the protests led to some systemic change, some political change. I know that Joe Biden signed an executive order that curtailed the way federal law enforcement could conduct themselves. We still don't have any George Floyd justice and policing law. And then I'm wondering, because we dropped it. We dropped it. We don't ask the question anymore. We don't wear the T-shirts anymore. The only place in the city of Milwaukee, and there may still be many, but I don't go everywhere because I can't. Because I don't want to go everywhere in the city of Milwaukee for a number of reasons, and I don't want to name any names of any establishments or businesses that I opt not to frequent because I don't want to be disrespectful to them. But there's some places I'm just not going to go. I'm not going to spend my money there. But the only place that I know of that still proudly displays a Black Lives Matter sign in their window is a bar called the Mothership in the Bayview neighborhood. Other than that, they've all since disappeared. So our YouTube question is, you got a couple of options. Do Black Lives Matter? Yes. That's choice number 1. No. That's choice number 2. Or choice number 3 is the ubiquitous All Lives Matter. I'm going to take a break. When I come back, I want to talk about a mural that was painted over. This mural displayed the likeness of a young man. He's no longer with us. He was killed by a Milwaukee police officer the weekend of August 14th, if my memory serves me correctly. August 14th, 2016, his name was Seville Smith. He was killed by a police officer in or near the Sherman Park neighborhood. And then Dontre Hamilton was also featured on that mural. That mural just got painted over. Mural had been there for years. At least 10 years that mural had been there. Now it's been painted over. And I'm wondering, is that the symbolism that Black lives don't matter anymore? Because those murals were painted on this building on the corner of West Center Street and North Holton Avenue to remind folks that, yes, in fact, Black lives do matter. And these are the likenesses of 2 Black men that lost their lives to the police. It's been painted over. I want to have a discussion about that, and I'll share the article with you on the other side. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 101.7 The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Our children deserve a real chance to make it in life, and a good education is a passport to opportunity. At City Ford Collective, we're working to make sure there's a great Milwaukee school for every Milwaukee family, because more good options lead to better outcomes. And who doesn't want that? Together, we can give every child the foundation they need to thrive, and a stronger future for kids means a stronger future for Milwaukee. To learn more about our mission, visit us at cityfordcollective.org. That's cityfordcollective.org.
70 million people in the U.S. have learning and thinking differences, like ADHD and dyslexia. Each has their own story. This is ours. At first, I thought it was just a phase. Then schoolwork became a struggle. Emotions got bigger, and my kids started falling behind. I felt alone, like I was lost in the dark trying to find answers. Then I learned about Understood.org, a nonprofit empowering parents and kids like us. It was like we had a light to show us the path ahead. Whenever new challenges came up, their guidance helped us figure out our next step. We still have tough days, but now we have direction. And I have the tools and resources I need to help my child thrive. No matter where you are on the path, Understood can help you keep moving forward. Visit understood.org/yourpath today.
Breaking down the issues that shape our city and our future.
If oil gets to $90 a barrel, I'll be able to pay off my house. I think war is awful. It's terrible. It doesn't resolve things. It creates long-lasting hatred and even more conflict that the American people are always going to find themselves involved in.
It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 to noon.
But if I don't have a mortgage, you know what I mean? You take the good with the bad. Didn't Donald Trump say he was going to end the wars? You can't have America first if you're involved in all these foreign wars. And there's people that believed him when he said that. He doesn't like wars. He said it many times. Said it on the campaign trail.
Catch it live on YouTube or tune in to 101.7 The Truth.
He's bombed just as much in his first year as any warmongering hawk president we've ever seen since World War II.
Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Blue light on your collarbone, half smile and a crack phone. You say I should.
Our phone number that I should give out more often than I do. I think most of you know it though, because you call it every day to get the Gruber money entry giveaway. 833-212-1017. 833-212-1017. The question is, do Black Lives still matter? Because we don't protest really anymore. It's more than that though. I have heard some pretty mean things as far as suggested punishments for people that take over public spaces, that take over the Bayshore Mall, that take over Milwaukee County Parks. You know, you get a lot of people, and we think because, the teenagers are bored, and they take over stuff. Sometimes they shoot, sometimes they don't. They need more roller skating. That's what, we sound so stupid saying that. Do their lives matter? And I wonder, because when you ask people what the punishment should be, when young people are very destructive and there's a lot of fighting, do those Black lives matter? The ones that we want to punish? Do the Black lives, and I'm speaking specifically about the Black lives, we'll handle how white lives can make us feel unsafe later, but white lives have been making us feel unsafe for a long time. That's different because it's ubiquitous. But the Black people that make our senior citizens afraid to go outside and go for a walk. Do we really go for that many walks? Because sometimes I'll hear that like, oh, sure, when I'm afraid to go for a walk. How much were you walking before? Were you really walking? It was like when Trump said, the cost of eggs, and everybody was talking about, oh, my God, eggs are so expensive. All of Kamala Harris's campaign, I kept hearing about all these eggs. I'm like, y'all aren't even eating that many eggs. Now nobody talks about eggs. I just have to bring that up because there's a lot of stuff that's hypocritical. Like, Sherwin, we can't go for walks anymore. You never really did. You drove. You didn't walk. Maybe you walked to Aldi, but it's closed now, so you're not. Do the Black people that commit crime, and I'm not saying that we're the only ones that commit crime, but I live in a Black neighborhood. And if a crime is going to be committed against me, it won't be the white lady across the street, or at least I hope not. You know, my Black neighbors across the street, they're non-political because most of the people on my block are not political. They have a Francesca Hong yard sign in their yard, which I've never seen that before, ever. I don't know, your hair is standing up on the back of your neck, Xavier.
Well, I mean, I don't know why you're worried about taking flack. She's the real deal.
Oh, I'm not worried about that. I just made note of the arrogance some of the Democrats that are running for office expect it. So I want to address something that Linda brought up, because I was talking about Mandela. And Mandela has been a public figure or in public office either statewide or locally for like 14 years. That's a long time. That's a long time for somebody who's in their 60s. He's in his 30s still, and he has been in public life in one form or another as an elected official for 14 years. And Linda said, oh, Sherwin, you should let Mandela on your show so he can, like, explain his political positions. If you don't know dude's political positions after him being in office for a decade and a half, then you haven't been paying attention. I can't give him any airtime on this show. He can go talk to Tory Lowe. He can go talk to Kyle. The thing that frustrates me is the candidates that are running, they all think that they have to come on my show. No, the hell you don't. You better show Kyle Wallace some love. I'm not, oh, Sherwin, when can I get on your show? I don't know. When can you? It's like when somebody asks you, can I go to the bathroom? I don't know. Can you? I interviewed Francesca because I was curious as to how this lady could be leading in 2 consecutive Marquette University polls, so I wanted to see for myself why. Also, I don't really put a lot of faith in the Marquette University Law School poll just because I don't have a lot of faith in Marquette University. And their sample size is way too small. They only ask 800 people statewide. That's ridiculous. You can make that poll say anything. When we poll, with my pollster, we poll we don't poll the state. We did once, and I'm not crazy about that because statewide people are weird. Rural people are weird. They're detached. Sorry, rural people, but you're not listening to my show anyway. You should, but we poll like 1,500 people in the city of Milwaukee. Marquette University Law School only polls 800 people statewide. That's insane to me. But I think that there's some groups that are working on commissioning another poll to see if a much more accurate and reliable poll shows Francesca Hong leading in that one. If she is, then she's got real legs to her campaign. But another reason why I interviewed her is because I want to shake up the Democratic primary field. And maybe Trump has spoiled us because Trump made it clear how he was different from the other Republicans that were running. And I'm not saying that the Democrats need to lambast each other or need to go after each other. I mean, a little bit, because we need to see how tough you are. Because the governor of the state of Wisconsin is going to have to match wits with the president. And if they can't show the Democratic field how they can match wits with one another, then you just ain't for me. All right? Now, listen, there's so much that I know that I can't tell you.
Would you ever host a debate?
Oh, God, yeah. Totally. Not here. I've done candidate debates on the radio before, and I don't like them because I tend to be too nice.
Yeah, I don't like commercial breaks either. I would like to see something in a more long form thing,
I would host one at like a place, but my dollar amount is insane. Like, you got to pay me. Like, I'm not, Sherwin, you want to host a debate? Not for free. Sherwin no, that Sherwin is dead. Yes, I'll do it for free. I don't know what happened to him. He does not exist anymore. So I did a candidate debate when a woman by the name of Verona Swanigan was running for Milwaukee County District Attorney against a fellow named John Chisholm, who had been our district attorney for like 20-something years. And I hosted, it was a candidate, I called it a debate, but here's how I had to do it. I came up with 10 questions. I sent the 10 questions, because I had to have it not scripted, but I had to have it somewhat controlled. Otherwise, it would just fly off the rails. Because then if they got to digging at each other, I'd have to be a referee, and I wasn't trying to do that. So I did them a solid, and I sent each campaign 10 questions ahead of the interview, like a week before. And I allowed each campaign to strike as many as 2 questions from the 10 that I provided. What I appreciated about both Verona Swanigan's campaign and John Chisholm's campaign is they didn't strike any questions. And it was decent. Like, I wanted to be a little bit more hard charging, but I also couldn't be because I had a preferred candidate in that race. But I don't know, maybe if there's 2 candidates that agree that I think could potentially win, I'd have Mandela and Francesca on at the same time. And I'd make them go after each other.
Is Mandela the number 2 right now, or what?
Yeah, he probably, all things considered, because 60-something% of the people that were polled in the last inaccurate Marquette University Law School poll weren't even paying attention to the gubernatorial race, that skews the numbers as well, because, of course, a Democratic Socialist and their acolytes are going to be paying a lot of attention because they got a candidate running in a Democratic primary, and they don't have any other choice, right? I don't think the Francesca Hong people are going to vote for Joel Brennan or David Crowley. They're going to vote for her, or not vote at all, quite honestly. So I'm not shocked that with so few people paying attention, the Democratic Socialist, who's kind of a maverick, kind of an anomaly, is doing as well as she is with 2/3 of Wisconsin voters still asleep. And Mandela has won statewide before. He's won and he's lost statewide. The important factor with that is he had incumbency at one point in time, and he has been on the ballot in every single Wisconsin county, all 72 counties, twice. Sometimes when there's a really crowded field, people just vote for the person whose name is more familiar. It ain't about policy. Stop thinking that people vote on policy. Most people don't even know what a policy is. They don't know how policy is made. They know nothing about committees. It's, I like them? Mandela, a lot of people like him. And that's all it takes. Just to be liked. Even you ask me as a Sherwin, who do you like? I want who can win. I'll vote for somebody I don't like if they can win. Because we need to have a Democrat following up Tony Evers. I said I was going to talk about these damn murals. Got me over here talking about the communist lady. Mural honoring people killed by police removed amid ownership questions. This one appears in the Milwaukee Journal. A mural with depictions of two black Milwaukee men killed by police, Seville Smith and Dontre Hamilton, was recently painted over in the Harambe neighborhood at the corner of West Center Street and North Holton Avenue following a change in property ownership. Seville Smith, who was painted on the left of the mural, was 23 when he was shot and killed by a Milwaukee police officer in 2016. And Dontre Hamilton, who was shown on the right, was killed by the police in 2014 at the age of 31. During the week of March 23rd, Miguel Alvarado, who lives around the corner, was taking his usual route to the bus stop when he noticed the mural was being painted over. Quote, "I thought they were just cleaning the building, but later that day when I came back, it was all gone," Alvarado said. Following Hamilton's death in 2014, protests and marches reminded residents about police violence against black residents, with April 30th becoming Dontre Day. 2 years later, Smith's death and the demonstrations to follow became another symbol of the relationship between the city's police and black residents. So that's the first part of the article. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to come back. We're going to further discuss. Does this mean that the era of people being loud and proud and professing and protesting on behalf of black lives, is it over? Did we have our moment in the sun, and now the sun is setting on all things Black Lives Matter? Now, if you haven't done so already, go to YouTube.com or open up your YouTube app from your smartphone or other mobile device, search 1017 The Truth, hit subscribe, and you'll be able to vote in our poll because we're asking you today via YouTube, do Black Lives Matter? Choice 1 is, well, yes. Choice 2 is, grrr, no. Choice 3 is, all lives matter. So go and vote now. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Tune into the award-winning 1017 The Truth's Business Spotlight this Thursday at 3:57 p.m. between The Tori Lowe Show and Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris. We'll be speaking with Alicia Green, owner of Tasteful Events Catering, to discuss how her custom food experiences go way beyond catering. We'll dive into how she got started, what makes her approach different, and what she's building next in the community. Again, that is the Business Spotlight this Thursday with Tasteful Events Catering at 3:57 p.m. on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Hi, I'm Greg Fritsch, president of the Center for Veterans Issues, inviting you to get involved in supporting the CVI mission. The Center for Veterans Issues is proud to serve veterans across Wisconsin. Each year, we help more than 1,200 veterans stay housed, find meaningful employment, and connect with the support they've earned. From housing assistance and job training to case management and suicide prevention outreach, our team is here to help veterans build stable, independent lives. If you're a veteran in need of support, visit cvivet.org. Donations can also be accepted at cvivet.org/donate.
Need a way to hype up your day?
Hello, is this Shirley?
This is she.
Shirley, you are our Gruber 5K giveaway winner this quarter. Congratulations.
What would you do with $5,000?
Going to look at buying me a pickup truck. That will be some of my down payment.
Stay tuned into 1017 The Truth for your chance to be entered into the Gruber Law Office's 5K giveaway. For contest rules, visit 1017thetruth.com.
I love you guys.
I got money now.
Hi, this is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth, and I want to talk to you about something bigger than just buying a house. I'm talking about building a legacy. Owning a home isn't just about four walls and a roof. It's about giving your kids a place where memories are made, where birthdays are celebrated, and where they always belong. It's about planting roots, knowing your neighbors, waving from the porch, and being a part of a community that feels like family. If you've been renting and wondering if home ownership is even possible, Axe Housing is here to work with you. An Axe Housing coach will help you create a plan, a budget, and move step by step toward owning a place you can truly call your own. They've already helped over 4,000 families become homeowners, and many are paying less than they were paying for rent. Don't let where you are today stop your family's tomorrow. Start your journey at axehousing.org. That is ACTS housing.org. Your legacy begins at home.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I rarely do this. Play the same song twice in a show, but this Shy FX hits hard.
You're feeling it, huh?
Man, listen to me. Listen to me. YouTube is probably going to take this whole video down. There we go. All right, do Black Lives Matter? They painted over a mural in the Harambe neighborhood that featured the pictures of two African-American men who were slain by the police, and there were major protests after the deaths of both men. Those protests went on for months, years even. When Hillary Clinton was seeking and ultimately received the Democratic nomination for president in 2016, she did not win the state of Wisconsin. She didn't get our delegates. Bernie Sanders did. And one of the complaints, she received many, but also that was our first date with foreign interference in an American election, because back then Facebook's rules for advertising were really loose. And if you appeared as if you were a legitimate company, you could run ads on Facebook, and there were Russian shell companies, like these fake companies, they appeared to be American. They were running a bunch of really super negative anti-Hillary Clinton ads at the time. We were bombarded by them. And the thing about social media ads is you can be targeted. Like your feed is not going to look the same as somebody else's. You're going to see different advertisements. You're going to have different things in your, whatever they call that on the side of your feed. You're going to see different things because your algorithm is as unique as your fingerprint is. And there was a lot of, I guess, distrust already when it came to Hillary Clinton, because she had been in office for so long. And when you've been in public life for so long, there's plenty of things. Now, you've done some good things, I'm sure, in many years of public office. But she had done or was around for bad stuff, too. And so we as an African-American community were targeted and bombarded with all of these negative Hillary Clinton ads. So remember, she had not ever won the state of Wisconsin, if I'm not mistaken. She ran again for president in 2008. And Barack Obama won the delegates, because you got to get a certain number of delegates to get your party's nomination. That's why we have a convention, Democratic convention and a Republican convention, because they announced the delegate winner, even though we already know who the delegate winner is. So keep in mind, Hillary Clinton had never won the state of Wisconsin. Bernie Sanders won in 2016, Barack Obama won in 2008. And then Seville Smith was killed in August. And we just had our Democratic primary election probably that week or the week before in 2016. And we were asking for her to come. Like, Hillary, if you're going to be president of the United States, what are you going to do about police brutality? Now, remember, this is 4 years before George Floyd. And in the African-American community, when the whole Black Lives Matter movement was alive and well, and it became political like everything else did, she still didn't come. There was an interview that I did with her, and I cannot remember. This was in April of 2016. And guess I recorded the interview because I was working at WNOV. But when she was available for the interview, I wasn't at the radio station, so we had to record it. I actually recorded at Homer's house. And I don't know if she might have come after that. No, I don't think she came at all to Wisconsin. And then ultimately, November of that year, Wisconsin also voted for Donald Trump, and Donald Trump won that 2016 election. And we chalked it up to the African-American community did not, either we voted for Trump in an unusually high number. Any amount of votes for Trump from black people is an unusually high number if you ask me.
But there was not overwhelming support from the most Democratic constituency in the state of Wisconsin, which is the city of Milwaukee, because it seemed like she ignored Black Lives Matter, or the way she paid attention to it was so disrespectful to black men. She traveled around the country with a group of African-American women. Some were wives, some were widows, some were mothers and grandmothers. And they had a name. I think it was Mothers of the Movement, maybe. I could look all this stuff up, but I don't want to waste the keystrokes. But Hillary Clinton traveled around the country. So she wasn't going to say Black Lives Matter. She wasn't going to give any credence to the protest that we were having here in Milwaukee. She didn't even come and visit Wisconsin, even though she had lost this state twice and still decided she wanted to ignore the African-American community. She traveled around the country with these black women, these widows, these mothers and grandmothers. But these were unique widows, mothers, and grandmothers because they were traveling with Hillary Clinton because they had lost sons, grandsons, and husbands to gun violence and, in some cases, police violence. If I'm not mistaken, Maria Hamilton was one of those that traveled with her. Here's why we had a problem with it, and I explained this problem many, many ways. If we were saying at the time that Black Lives Matter, and you, Hillary Clinton, didn't come to Milwaukee, didn't come to Wisconsin after we were reeling from the murder of Seville Smith in August of 2016, but you will feature our mamas, our grandmamas, and our widows, we're the black men. So we're still invisible. I need you to think about this psychologically now. If you won't acknowledge the black men that were killed by the police, but you platform our mamas, our grandmamas, and our widows, then we're dead to you too. Why not feature black men that are alive and well and doing things and are entrepreneurs and are leading in technology? No, she didn't do that. She featured the widows and the despondent mamas and grandmamas that had lost black men. So even to Hillary Clinton, we were invisible. Ooh, that used to make me mad as all get out. But I think that just goes to show, even when it's a Democratic candidate running for president that needs the black vote, sometimes they, however, symbolically illustrate that they don't think the Black Lives Matter either. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be back for hour 2.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Need a way to hype up your day?
Hello, is this Shirley?
This is she.
Shirley, you are our Gruber 5K giveaway winner this quarter. Congratulations.
What would you do with $5,000?
Going to look at buying me a pickup truck. That will be some of my down payment.
Stay tuned into 1017 The Truth for your chance to be entered into the Gruber Law Office's 5K giveaway. For contest rules, visit 1017thetruth.com.
I love you guys.
I got money now.
People don't realize that glaucoma is one of the leading causes of blindness.
Because there are often no early symptoms, nearly half of those with glaucoma may not even know they have it until vision loss has occurred.
I was diagnosed with normal tension glaucoma in July of 2020. And what we found out at that point was I had already lost 40% of my sight. And you think it only affects people that are, 75 or older, retired, grandparents, and that's not the reality of it.
I didn't think at all glaucoma was going to affect me because I didn't know of anyone that had glaucoma, no one in my family. When you have glaucoma, you can't get back that sight that you lost. And so early detection and treatment is vitally, vitally important.
Don't miss life's most beautiful moments. Schedule an eye exam today.
National Glaucoma Research, a Bright Focus Foundation program, offers free resources and tips for healthy vision.
Learn how to protect your sight at stopglaucoma.org.
When I was diagnosed with Hodgkin lymphoma, I had so many questions. I didn't even know that it was cancer. Now I do. It is cancer. Blood cancer. It's actually one of more than 100 different types, and they're all treated differently. Now, unlike some other forms of cancer, usually there's no tumor. You can't screen for it to prevent it, and the symptoms can look like other things, so it could be hard to diagnose. I had a fever for weeks. I was so tired all the time. I didn't feel like eating or doing anything else for that matter. And I know that this can feel scary. But if you know what to look out for, you'll know what to tell your doctor, and you'll feel more empowered to take the next steps. Like getting in touch with the people who know the ins and outs and can help with everything blood cancer related. Blood Cancer United. They work one-on-one with each person who reaches out to answer questions and offer resources. Blood Cancer United was there for me, and they can be there for you.
Go to bloodcancerunited.org to learn more.
Listen to the man who tells you exactly how he sees it. The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris every weekday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. on 101.7 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Welcome to Hour 2 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. We're asking a question that, I don't know, should be rhetorical maybe, possibly. Do black lives still matter? We used to protest when a black life was hurt. We used to protest everything. A black life got a hangnail. Protest. A black life is slightly uncomfortable. Protest. Now, it seems that there has been maybe a subtle shift. My feed on my social media is my algorithm, which tells me what those that curate with algorithms and artificial intelligence, and sometimes real human intelligence, they create streams of videos for me based upon my previous likes or my demographic profile or my zip code or whatever. And I see a lot of videos of black people fighting, getting unruly at restaurants, a lot of takeovers. And the takeovers are not just in Milwaukee, they're all over the place. I just see a lot of bad black people behavior. Maybe it's because there's something brewing. There's a discontent, but there's always been a discontent. But it seemed like, and maybe I'm just being overly rosy and nostalgic about the past, that we would take our discontent and we would focus it. We would focus it on a candidate or on an election or on a particular policy. Like there was a more productive focus. Now it just seems that people are just angry and don't care. It's almost like we're descending into anarchy. And when black people, when they take over spaces, as an example, do their lives matter too? Are we really trying our level best to find solutions for those young people? To create better places and spaces for them? They need ownership of something. Because if they own it, I hope they'll protect it. Because we say that about homeowners. If you buy a house, you'll want to protect it. You'll pick up garbage in front of your house. At least I hope. Because I notice differences in neighborhoods where there's more home ownership versus renting. Maybe if we gave young people something to own. Maybe they need puppies. Should we give them puppies? A puppy will teach you responsibility. I wanted a puppy real bad growing up. My father was like, Emma, let the boy get a puppy. It's like, no. It's going to be dog hair on my furniture. No. Sherwin, are you going to walk this dog every single day? And, of course, I would nod my head yes and try and look as sad as I possibly. Yes, I'll walk my dog every day. Sherwin, are you going to pick up all the dog poop? The poop is going to be all over the house and in my yard. My mother would say, yes, I'm going to pick up the dog poop. My mother won that battle, and probably for good reason, because I would not have picked up the dog poop, nor would I have walked the dog. So it is what it is. But it would have taught me some responsibility, having a puppy. Maybe we need to get to black kids some puppies. They need ownership over something, right? So if it gets messed up, they get to blame themselves. Because the places that they're taking over and acting all unruly, those places don't belong to them. It's the same phenomenon when people get really mad and get very angry, especially black people, and there's a big old protest, and we start a couple of fires, we burn stuff down, and white people are quick to do two things. White folks are so predictable. It's like we can predict their thoughts. Martin Luther King wasn't like this. He was nonviolent. That's number one. That's the first thing they say. And the next one is going to be, why are you burning down your own neighborhood? Don't nobody set fire to their own house when there's a riot. They burn stuff down that's owned by other people, and what that does is it wakes people up to the fact that in the black community, the stuff that gets set on fire is not owned by black people. That's the first thing the white folks say. Oh, you guys. I've seen white kids destroy a college campus because their team won. Think about that for a second. There's something deep in their psyche. Like, yay, we won! Break everything! Let's go downtown with Molotov cocktails to celebrate. Yay, fire.
It's quite interesting.
And then they'll get mad. Not all white people, but enough of them. It's not all white people, but it's always white folks. They didn't like the old white guy that won the presidential election. They preferred the old white guy that lost. Either way, they're getting an old white guy, okay? Like, demographically almost identical. Let's take over the Capitol because we wanted the other white guy. Okay, question for you all. Yeah? How come you guys didn't burn down or mess up or vandalize or try to stop the peaceful transfer of power when a black Muslim Indonesian black guy won the presidency? Because we actually liked him and voted for him. He had decent policies. Oh, okay, but you don't like the other white guy. No, boo. But the black guy, when he got elected and reelected, you guys were okay with that? I mean, we weren't crazy about it. We had some Tea Party stuff, but isn't that wild? They're so mixed up. Mal asks a question. Where is this question? Right here. Dear Sherwin, he says, oh, that's nice of you to start off so formally. I hope your mention of the Northside Holton mural is not true, and if it is, then the takeover is real. What are they even taking over from us? Because I know black folks didn't own that building, so the building was sold. Let me give you this example as to why I don't care. I do not care. Because also, most of us don't care either. If the mural was painted to capture a moment in which Black Lives Matter was a thing, we were very angry, wanted to make a statement, social statement, a political statement about police brutality, and the murals existed to reflect that moment, the moment is not being reflected anymore. So if the mural gets painted over, I literally don't care. Should I care? If I cared that bad, then I'd say paint the mural on the side of my house. Don't you dare! But if I cared that much, if any of us cared, we would paint murals on the side of our houses. We're not doing that, right? If we cared that much, we would pool our money together and we'd have billboards all over the city. So if this mural got taken down, and it did, now I'm going to give you a reason why I don't blame the owner for doing it. But if we cared that much, then why don't we put their pictures up somewhere else? Why don't we paint murals somewhere else? It's a lot of real estate in the city of Milwaukee. We can paint it on the side of an abandoned building. It'd stay there forever. Well, let me tell you why I don't care. It doesn't impact me and doesn't impact you either, because y'all didn't even care. If you didn't see it every single day, then you probably forgot that this mural was there. We still got a ton of murals in the city of Milwaukee. I just see a new one every day. Some of it is graffiti. Some of it is very artistic. But let me tell you why I don't care that the mural got painted over. You know what my dream is? To go into a lily white, small, ruralish town. It used to be a farming town. Now the farms have all gone bust, belly up, and bankrupt. Farmland is being foreclosed on. It's a very small town. You got a church. You might have a little itty-bitty strip mall. You might have a little grocery store. Might have a little thrift shop. Might have a McDonald's, a Burger King, and a Subway. It's a little small town. Got a little elementary school. And then the middle school and the high school is all one building. A little small town. And you have renters, 4-family units, duplexes, 8-family units, and you have some homeowners. But in this small town, a lot of people maybe sold their houses or they prefer to rent because there might be a lot of transients in this town because poverty has crept up. Because remember, it used to be a farming town, and now a lot of that agriculture is non-competitive with foreign countries, and the market prices of things that they used to grow in this small, used to be rural town have gone down. And so you have a lot of renters. My dream is to go to that small town and buy everything.
I would be the franchisee of the McDonald's and the Burger King, where a lot of those farmers now have to work because there's no industry there. They're now working for me. I would buy those 4 families. I would buy those 8 families. I would buy a lot of those duplexes, and I would be the landlord of most of their property. And let's just say I purchased another building. I was going to start a store. You know who's actually doing exactly what I'm saying? Dave Chappelle. I think it's Yellow Springs, Ohio, whatever the name of the little town. He's buying everything. Dave Chappelle is the #1 property owner in a majority town, and I can't get enough of it. I can't. It's so good. He's got a comedy club he opened. He's got a Dave Chappelle, like a merchandise store. I love it so much because if a white person was doing it to a black community, it'd be called gentrification. There's no name for what Dave is doing, but I think it's just such a beautiful example of the American dream. It's also capitalism. But when capitalism looks like that, when we own white people's spaces and places and own their homes, then we like capitalism. A lot of times black folks don't like capitalism because it's the other way around. But if we were capitalists like Dave, we would love it. But here's what I would do in this small town fantasy of mine. Imagine if I owned the Burger Kings, the Taco Bell, and the Subway restaurant. I'm the franchisee, and I'm paying the wages of all the people that work in these fast food restaurants that I am the franchisee of, but I also own the properties that they rent. That's power. And then, of course, I need to have a friendly city council because people might get very angry at me. That Sherwin Hughes, he's keeping my wages low and my rent is too high. You might have a council that might be very much against me. They might limit or curtail or put new rules in so that Sherwin couldn't buy any more property. Don't worry, I got an answer for that too. I would buy all the legislative seats. Oh yeah, I would find candidates that were sympathetic to me and my business endeavors, and I would fund all of their campaigns. That's America. However, I digress. Let's say on one of those buildings that I'm about to purchase in this town in which I am almost the sole proprietor, there was a mural of Charlie Kirk. And it's another building that I'm considering buying. There's a mural of Donald Trump, and underneath it says 45-47. I'm painting over those two. I own the building. You can't tell me that I need to keep a mural of Charlie Kirk or Donald Trump on property that belongs to me. I bought it, my money. I'm paying property taxes on my private property. You can't tell me what I have to display. But Mr. Sherwin, and that's what they would call me. We love Charlie Kirk and we love Donald Trump. And look at you now. You work for me. That's who. You're so mean. Please put the Charlie Kirk mural back up. Nope. In fact, you know what y'all gonna get? A Kwame Ture, Malcolm X. Who's another angry black? Bobby Seale. That's what you gonna get. The person's private property on Holton and Center Street where the Seville Smith mural and the Dontre Hamilton murals appeared. What if the owner of that building doesn't know about them, doesn't care about them, and wanted that mural painted over because they now own the property? And if we are, in fact, upset about the symbolism and what that possibly means, we have so much access to put murals somewhere else. I know I went around the block to get next door, but think about this, black African-American people. If you are in the real estate game, and you're in the real estate game to make money, to make profit, and you purchase a building at a real good price, it's a good building too. It's got good bones, solid. It needs a little exterior work, but the foundation is good. Glass is good. Windows are good. Doors are good. Door frames are good. It's okay. It's got a little upstairs, a little apartment upstairs. You can rent that out too for $75,000 a month or whatever you're going to charge for rent. Don't worry, the white people in that small town can get rent assistance. They'll be fine. And they had a Donald Trump mural on the side of the building that you're about to buy. Listen, the first thing I would do once I closed on a building, before I even got my keys, is I would paint over that mural. Let's not get upset at the small things. Take a break, come back. Still asking the fundamental question, do Black Lives Matter? If you go to youtube.com or open up your YouTube app from your smartphone or other mobile device, search 1017 The Truth and hit subscribe. You'll be able to vote in our poll asking the question, do Black Lives Matter? Yes,
57% of you say yes. That's not high enough. Considering the other day we asked the demographic profile, assuming people are being honest, and this is a dumb poll to lie on. 90+% of the people that participate in watching this show on YouTube are black. No, this tracks though, because I could see 57% of black people saying yes, Black Lives Matter, but also can see 14% of us saying no. Or, you can just say the catch-all category, all lives matter, which is at 29%. Take a break, come back. I have these interesting breakdowns of 5 specific Milwaukee neighborhoods. And they're all in the city, not in the county. I think they might include Wauwatosa for comparison purposes, because I don't know if there was a 4th neighborhood that fit the profile of what I was looking for. And I'm going to give you the details of the 5 quote-unquote best neighborhoods in the city of Milwaukee. And I'm going to compare them with the worst. And here are the measures that I used. Average household income and per person income, educational attainment, including college, housing values and stability, how long do people stay in the same house at the same address, access to amenities like are there parks, are there retail, is there transit, is there health care available in these neighborhoods, crime and quality of life indicators, and then economic opportunity. Are there jobs in the vicinity, good jobs, high-paying jobs in these neighborhoods? So there's 5 Milwaukee neighborhoods that have the best of these, and then there's 5 that have the worst. And I'm still following the theme of the show, Do Black Lives Matter? Because there's some pretty significant and statistical contrasts between what is considered the best neighborhoods, the safest, the wealthiest, the cleanest, the most stable, the most employed neighborhoods, the most educated neighborhoods, compared to the ones that lack in all of those very important quality of life categories. Let's dig into that next. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, Monday through Friday, from 9 a.m. until 12 noon. 1017thetruth.com, 1017thetruth on the YouTube and the Instagram and the Twitter and the Facebook. So if you really want to find us, we ain't hard to find. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Truth Nation, it's that time again for the Tory Low Community Cleanup. Mark your calendars for Saturday, April 18th from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. as we come together to clean up the city of Milwaukee. Be part of making a difference in our community. The Tory Low Community Cleanup, Saturday, April 18th, 8 to noon. Sponsored by Milwaukee College Prep, Steinhoffels, Cousin Subs, Waste Management, and presented by the Milwaukee Metropolitan Sewerage District, your clean water partner serving Greater Milwaukee for 100 years.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Still think you're going to use those old chemicals just sitting around under the sink, in the garage, or down in the basement? So don't let them sit there. Get rid of them right away. To MMSD's Home Hazmat Drop-Off Centers. It's safe, it's easy, and it's open to all Milwaukee County residents. There are 3 locations open year-round. The Tory Low Community Cleanup is happening April 18th and with a mobile drop-off to help you clear out that waste. Visit us at MLK Elementary School at 3275 North 3rd Street from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Let's clean up Milwaukee.
Hi, this is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth, and I want to talk to you about something bigger than just buying a house. I'm talking about building a legacy. Owning a home isn't just about 4 walls and a roof. It's about giving your kids a place where memories are made, where birthdays are celebrated, and where they always belong. It's about planting roots, knowing your neighbors, waving from the porch, and being a part of a community that feels like family. If you've been renting and wondering if home ownership is even possible, Axe Housing is here to work with you. An Axe Housing coach will help you create a plan, a budget, and move step by step toward owning a place you can truly call your own. They've already helped over 4,000 families become homeowners, and many are paying less than they were paying for rent. Don't let where you are today stop your family's tomorrow. Start your journey at axhousing.org. That is ACTS housing.org. Your legacy begins at home.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Since we're talking about Dave Chappelle, I mean, a little bit, not a lot. X, I just sent you a picture. The highlight of my, yes, sent you, I emailed it to you. I'm going to show you guys, we're going to put it up on the YouTube. Not entirely relevant, but not irrelevant to the conversation. The highlight of my life was when I met Dave Chappelle. So everybody was scared of him because he was at a Bucks game. He had a whole entourage with him. Everybody's intimidated. I was like, I'm finna talk to Dave. Everybody was like, oh my. Because during our playoff run in 2021, a whole bunch of celebrities came to Milwaukee. Russell Wilson was here with Sierra. Alex Rodriguez was here. Chris Tucker was here. Sheryl Crow came to every single home game, and she came with her sons because apparently Sheryl Crow, you know the lady, all I wanna do is have some fun. I got a feeling I'm not the only one. Her seat sucked. And she's won like awards, Grammys and stuff. She was sitting like way far away because they were paying the crowd. They'd show, the fancy people that were sitting, in good seats. And they were panning the crowd. Like, wait, is that Sheryl Crow and two teenage boys? Well, no, she's there with her sons. She had terrible seats. But so Dave got up from his seat and he started walking like he was exiting the arena era. And he was going to walk right in front of me. So I stood up. And I said, Dave, I like your comedy or whatever I said. And we enjoyed a little bit of banter. He stopped walking. And then, go ahead and put it up. And then I asked him if I could get a picture. So this picture was taken by a friend that I was at the game with because he couldn't believe it. But then there's a selfie that I took. I'm not going to show all the selfie because I look goofy. But Dave's got his hand on my shoulder. But yeah, he allowed me to take a picture. He's like, yeah, let's take a picture. And here's what's crazy. After I got my little bit of conversation with Dave, he loves Milwaukee, by the way. The last show that he did before COVID shut the world down, I was at that. He was at the Pabst Theater. Saw him there. And then the next time he went out on tour, he came to Milwaukee because he opened Summerfest up. That must have been 2021 because Summerfest had been shut down because of COVID. So I was at both of those shows. But in the interim, a few months prior to, he was here in Milwaukee at the Bucks game. So I take my picture with Dave, and then everybody and their mama just mobbed him because they saw that he was approachable. And when they saw that old Sherwin got a picture, like, oh, I want a picture too. So everybody else. And I felt bad for Dave because he didn't want to be rude. So he took a bunch of pictures with a lot of folks. Here, let me take a look at the YouTube. Let me see. That was the moment right there when I met Dave. Have you ever met anybody famous, X? You met famous people before?
I've met a lot of famous people.
Whoa. Well then, la-ti-da.
I don't really get.
Other than Bernie Sanders, who famous have you met that we might know? Because they might be famous to you.
Macaulay Culkin.
Oh wow. That's up there. That's an A-lister, or at least he used to be.
Yeah. Stay Still. Let's see. A whole bunch of wrestlers.
So Macaulay Culkin. Basically.
I mean, athletes, J.J. Watt.
Oh, sure.
Stuff like that.
All right,
Terrell Pryor.
Because you're a sports person. You're a sports.
Oh, yeah. I've met a lot of people through my sports life as well.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Right, it's cool.
I don't really keep track of it. I have to think a little bit. But I definitely met some more people than that.
We work with Mark Tauscher and Mark Schmurr. When I found out that He's not ever here. I think he broadcasts remotely, but he used to, when we were in the studio on East Capitol Drive, Mark Chmura, he was here or at our studio every single day. I was a fan of his. I still am, because him and Brett Favre would throw the ball, and Mark Chmura would catch it and run for touchdowns. I mean, he got in a little bit of hot water, literally. But I don't judge that man. That's none of my business that he got in a little bit of trouble. It takes nothing away from what he did on the field.
Hot water for what?
He just got in a little bit of trouble. You never wonder why Mark Chmura was no longer a Packer?
Oh, when that run, I was a little kid.
Oh, that's right.
I was very little.
Packers won a Super Bowl. He's got a Super Bowl ring. Yeah. So when I found out that we work with him, I was like, Chewy, can I get an autograph? He's like, say less. Dude came the next day with a glossy 8x10 of him catching a touchdown pass from Brett Favre, and he signed it.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
So I got a Mark Chmura signed autograph. All right, you can take me and Dave down. I said something to Dave that it shocked him. I'm not going to tell you what I said to him, but that's why he's making the face that he was making in the photograph. All right, here we go. Milwaukee is one of the most. Now, I'm still asking the question, do Black Lives Matter? Because if they do, whose responsibility is it? I know that's a very complicated question. I could list, as I'm sure you could, a lot of disparities where African Americans are behind. And it almost feels really intentional. And it's been that way for a very long time. This is not a rhetorical question. Whose responsibility is it? Aside from us getting reparations, which I don't think solves it, whose responsibility is it to make sure that there are the necessary opportunities and resources for African Americans to be successful? Like, who's responsible? Is it us? Do we need to have like a political agenda where we as a community, and we have a lot of money as a community. I don't know why people think we're poor. I just don't know what we do with our money. We have money, and also there's a collective of us. If you put all of our money together, our per capita income is lower, but we're such avid consumers that we can really move markets with our consumer spending. And so I'm asking this question so I can get some clarity, because I don't know if we go back and forth or we just blame other people, but whose responsibility is it if black children are acting unruly in public and they're taking over public spaces, but they don't have anywhere to go? They don't have anything to do. They don't have places and spaces that they can call their own. Whose fault is that? Is it the city of Milwaukee? Is it Milwaukee County? Should they focus more, allocate more, dedicate more of everybody's tax dollars so that these black children have places and spaces they can call their own? Or is it our responsibility? Is the responsibility of the mother or the father? Maybe it's the responsibility of a man who's not even that child's father. Maybe it's the mentor's responsibility. Maybe more black men need to leave their own families to go participate in the betterment of another black boy whose mama he doesn't know, and he can't have sex with her. He just has to do it out of the kindness of his heart. Like, whose responsibility is it? I want a real answer. And if you want to blame the white folks or blame whoever, I want to hear who you blame. Like, whose responsibility is it? When there's homicides, there's shootings, fatal and non-fatal. Is it the people that make the guns? Because somebody will always say, black people don't make no guns. Somebody's shipping the guns here. Okay, I'll humor you on that. But whose responsibility is it if too many people have too much access to firearms? And if there's reckless use of those firearms, should we blame, I don't know, the gun ranges for not offering coupons to black people so we can go and practice shooting so we can have better aim? Or to teach responsibility with a firearm? Who do we point the finger to? Point the finger at? Is it us? Like, what responsibility do we need to take? And also, as a community of individuals, how much of your time as an individual, because you got your own stuff going on, whoever you are, you got to worry about yourself, your family, your responsibilities, and you take that on willingly because you know that nobody else is going to pay your bills for you, unless you get a sugar daddy or a sugar mama. I've had a sugar mama before a little bit. I mean, it's a long, complicated story. Fantastic. Just beautiful until it wasn't.
Black, white, Chinese?
She was a woman.
Oh, you won't disclose?
No, it doesn't
I think it just makes it more interesting.
There are Asian women, Hispanic women, black women, and white women that have sugar. All the women have sugar. Women have a lot of sugar, especially women don't have any kids. They got all the sugar. They save their sugar. Or they might have a sugar daddy, and they get extra sugar. Their cup runneth over with sugar, and then maybe Sherwin get the extra sugar that spills over. That's a long time ago. I wouldn't do nothing like that now. But I don't want anyone to think I was taking advantage. You can't take somebody's money. I mean, you could, but I would never do that. If you want to give it to me, my hand is going to be out now. If you want, here's Sherwin. Here's $1,700. No, I couldn't. Yes, I could. If I didn't take $1,700 that someone was offering me, assuming there's no or low strings, it's almost like I'd be stealing from myself. Because part of me be like, yo, Sherwin, why are you taking our money and giving it back to them? They're offering us that money. No, I couldn't. That would be rude. No, it's rude not to take it. Because then if I see them give it to somebody else, I'll be very angry. But we know that it's our responsibility to take care of our bills when it comes to these categories in which, and they're pretty bad, African Americans, especially in the city of Milwaukee, which is not a big city, so it doesn't take a monumental kind of effort to move the needle. And also the bar is so low that a little bit of time and a little bit of attention, and I don't want another nonprofit. We got too many nonprofits. We have a nonprofit industry in this city, and it's really, really bad. But that's also based on two things. There's a need. But at the same time, if there's a nonprofit, there needs to be a maintenance of the needy. Because if your nonprofit is successful and you lift people out of poverty and they become business owners, entrepreneurs, homeowners, and they become successful, then the nonprofit that lifted those people up and gave them opportunities would go out of business. So we have to have either a constant flow and influx of poor people, or we just maintain people's poverty so that organization can exist in perpetuity. But the real question is, if Black Lives Matter, and we can name a whole bunch of categories, I'm going to get to these neighborhoods in a second. Don't worry, these neighborhoods aren't going anywhere, nor are they going to change. When I list some of the really awful statistics about them, like, whose fault is it? Do we just say slavery? It's slavery's fault. I'm going to say something really unpopular, but I want you guys to know how much I love and care for you every day. I love you all. I think you're wonderful. Thank you for listening. I appreciate you. But if I had a person that I could tell what to do, like, all the time, like clean my house, cut the grass, run my errands for me, I would love that. I would love it. You see what I'm getting at? If you had somebody, like my kitchen, I got to clean the kitchen. I've been real busy these past couple of weeks. It's just been a whirlwind, and I've neglected some things. I usually do my housework on the weekends, but my weekends have been very busy as well the past couple. This weekend, I think I slowed down a little bit. Men I Trust is coming to the rave on Friday, so I'll be there. But I have a lot of stuff going on the weekends. I'm looking at my kitchen. I'm like, oh, I got to get to this kitchen. I sure wish I had another person here that I could just make clean the kitchen.
You pay $30,000 for another person? That's how much.
And I own them forever.
Pretty
forever.
Much. Yeah, you own them forever after that. $30,000, $40,000.
I gotta have health care for them because I gotta keep them healthy. I gotta feed them. That's another grocery bill.
Exactly.
But if I looked at what somebody paid, let's say for the life of a mortgage, which is a 30-year mortgage, how much would somebody pay for an assistant? They would assist me here. Like, I'd bring them with me. I'd be like, give me some topics to talk about.
What kind of slave do you want?
I didn't say the S word. I'm just rationalizing how much I appreciate leisure time. The more leisure time I have, the better, because then I can do Sherwin things. Now, I know that some of my waking hours, I got to do responsible things. I got to do laundry, and I got to do yard work, and my grass is starting to get green, and my tulips are about to bloom, so I got to do all that stuff, too. I got all these things. I got to run errands. I got to get the dry cleaning, because now is when I dry clean my winter jackets. I do the dry cleaning in the springtime. See, I could have somebody go drop off my dry cleaning. Like, yes, I can do all these things, but it's very time consuming, and I only have a certain amount of bandwidth per day. I'm just saying I see the benefit of having a person. You don't have to be mean to them, and that's the other part about the institution that you brought up that I did not. I would be nice to them because you get more flies with honey, you know?
I guess. I think, what about the days when they don't want to do something? They're lazy. What are you going to do then?
Oh, no. That's not. Oh, no, that's not an option.
Oh, they're a human being, though.
I don't know. If they were lazy and didn't want to do anything at all, like they wanted to rebel, then I think I'd have to maybe get creative. Yeah, you know what I mean? Are you sure you don't? All right, that was a bridge too far, and I got to take a commercial break. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
At Milwaukee College Prep, we don't leave success to chance. We're designed for it. With strong support, high expectations, and a team committed to excellence, our educators turn belief into outcomes every day. If you believe every child deserves an excellent education, join Milwaukee College Prep. Apply today. Visit mkeprep.com/jobs.
I'm Sherwin Hughes, and I know the power of Stars and Stripes Honor Flight firsthand. As someone who's been on an honor flight, I can tell you it's a day you'll never forget. Stars and Stripes Honor Flight gives our oldest veterans who served in any location in June of 1975 or earlier a free one-day trip to Washington, D.C. for veterans. Airfare, meals, a coach bus tour, and special flight apparel are all included. It's a day of honor, gratitude, and camaraderie. Veterans who served in the Vietnam or Korean War go to flySSHF.org and ask for an application.
Tap into the best power hour in radio in Milwaukee.
So altogether, you're looking at $1,780 for your mortgage and for your property taxes in a year. And that's before you have to deal with, obviously, your water bill and electric bill. That's a steep price that people have to pay. And based off those numbers I just ran, to afford a home like that, you got to make $65,000 a year. But the problem is, here in Milwaukee, the median household income is only $54,234. That's out of whack. So again, I am all about affordability. I'm all about people getting homes. But what we have to understand is that until homes are more affordable, you can have a supply and demand problem. But the problem that we have here in the city of Milwaukee is that these prices, when people are listing these houses, they're listing them for prices that people really can't afford. And even if you do get the house and you're paying that, you're living paycheck to paycheck. Home ownership is not about living paycheck to paycheck. Home ownership is about finding something that fits within your budget and building equity for the future.
Catch Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace every weekday from noon to 1 p.m. on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
70 million people in the U.S. have learning and thinking differences, like ADHD and dyslexia. Each has their own story. This is ours. At first, I thought it was just a phase. Then schoolwork became a struggle. Emotions got bigger, and my kids started falling behind. I felt alone, like I was lost in the dark trying to find answers. Then I learned about Understood.org, a nonprofit empowering parents and kids like us. It was like we had a light to show us the path ahead. Whenever new challenges came up, their guidance helped us figure out our next step. We still have tough days, but now we have direction. And I have the tools and resources I need to help my child thrive. No matter where you are on the path, Understood can help you keep moving forward. Visit understood.org/yourpath today.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Milwaukee is one of the most economically and racially segregated cities in the United States, with sharp neighborhood-level disparities in income, education, and quality of life. Now, I know where a lot of this came from. This came from the housing covenants and housing segregation, where people were allowed to buy houses, especially in certain areas, and they got a lot of equity in their houses, but we weren't allowed to buy houses because the neighborhoods didn't want us and banks wouldn't lend to us, all that other stuff. But what about now? And we got some catching up to do, and some black people have. Not everybody has, though. The playing field it's a little bit more level, but the rules are tough. The rules sometimes are cultural. To survive in a world, not going to say world, because we're unique in the world. To survive in a nation that was curated for the benefit of white men, they've laid down some rules, some of which have remained unchanged. And I say that because you got laws on the books from the 15 and 1600s. Now, a lot of them are not followed anymore. But like one in Massachusetts where you can't beat your wife on Sunday, but all the other days of the week you can. So there's still like foundational things in the structure of the United States that goes back to the original creation of these United States in the first place. And all this is going to come into focus because we're going to be very conflicted come July 4th. The United States of America is turning 250 years old because they're starting the counting in 1776. If you are a black person and you can trace your lineage in this country back, even back to like 1864, 1776, and celebrating 250 years of America doesn't bode well for us because in 1776, we still had 89 years of slavery left. But you're going to see a whole bunch of your white friends and even other people. So, yay, America's 250. And I say if you are black and you trace your roots and your lineage back to at least 1864, because sorry to tell you, African immigrants and migrants, y'all don't count. No, don't start that with me. You got here and were able to become successful based on the hard work and the death and the blood and the sweat and the tears of black people in the civil rights movement. And then some of them have the nerve to come over here and say, why are you black people so lazy? No, stop it with that. Yeah, I'm standing on business. Just because we share melanin don't mean that we share a language or a culture or an understanding. Y'all came over here just like everybody else did. Y'all came over here like European immigrants that took advantage of an America that was built, formed, created, and improved by many, many generations of people that did all that work before you got here. And then America just looks better than the country in which you live. It's almost like the passport bros. If you can't get laid in America and you go over to some third world country where the women are poorer and more destitute, you're the problem. Now, be a passport bro because you want to travel, because you want to go hiking in Thailand. How can you not get laid in America?
Some dudes are really weird. What do you mean? I hear some crazy stories from women.
You think that there aren't weird women? There's a thing now where super attractive women are now sleeping with the weirdest dudes they can find because they think like they're conquering something, or they think that these men are like untouched because they're really weird. And you can define weird. A man that you would think isn't getting any, these really, really super hot women are like, they're targeting these dudes because like, oh yeah, he's untouched territory. The trick is on them. Because them dudes get more of it than you could ever imagine, yet they portray like this persona that they're weird and that they're awkward. Them dudes is knocking down mamas, grandmamas, aunties, college students. How can you? There's so much. We used to, can I say, I don't know what I can and can't say anymore. So back in the day, now we don't say it anymore. I'd call a friend and be like, hey, man, what's going on? Or a friend would call me. I've got to be careful saying this. Like, oh, so-and-so is having a party, or we're getting together here, or we're going. And we would just ask this question. It was ubiquitous. We didn't think there was anything wrong with it. It was like, where the hoes at? You know what I mean? I
don't think anything's wrong with that.
Your generation don't ask that question. And we were serious. Where the hoes? Is going to be some hoes?
I think you're...
And hoes were okay being hoes, though. Now it's a liberated woman. Nah.
No, guys still talk like that.
I need to know. I'm 51 years old, and I'm still kind of curious as to where they're at. Not saying that they're not less women. I love hoes. They're fun. You don't even have to, it's not even about sleeping with them. They're just free-spirited. You know what I mean? They're not subscribing to, I have to be prim and proper, and I have to be a good girl.
They know what they want.
And men can be hoes, too. Hoes, they sure do know what they want. Some women be like, I'm a hoe and I'm proud. I'll do whatever I want. It's almost like when a person calls themselves at the N-word. I'm a real N-word. I love that for you. Keep it real, brother. You know, where they... Where they at? That's a serious question.
They're all over the place.
They sure are. Everywhere.
You'd be surprised.
No, I wouldn't. No, sir. They're everywhere. Milwaukee is one of the most economically and racially segregated cities in the U.S., with sharp neighborhood level disparities on income, education, and quality of life. I have data-driven synthesis from the American Community Survey, city and county reports, the U.S. Census. I got all the stuff. Housing and demographic studies identifying the top 5 and bottom 5 neighborhoods based on median household income, educational attainment, housing values, access to amenities, crime and quality of life indicators. It doesn't list a category for which neighborhood has more hoes, though. They all do. I hope... I'm trying to think of who would get offended by me saying that. Because if you're a hoe, you're like, cool. If you're not a hoe, then it shouldn't bother you.
Maybe some good Christians out there don't like that language.
Speaking of Christians, this story does not, when I say it does not fit with the topic of the show, I can't make this stuff up. They're charging a pastor with homicide because he baptized somebody in a backyard baptism ceremony in a kiddie pool. And they drowned, and they're charging the pastor with homicide. And I wanted to find a way to bring that story up. It's not funny, but hold on now. And it's a real pastor. The pastor's not like some fly-by-night person. It's a real pastor. It was a backyard baptism in a kiddie pool. Kiddie pools aren't deep, but the person drowned and they died. And when you think about it, now think about this critically and clearly now. Think about this objectively. Isn't that the will of the Lord? If you died during a baptism, God is like, I'll take them.
Yeah, they might have been the Antichrist.
Or God sometimes takes beautiful souls. I've lost some beautiful people in my life. You got to wonder, why, God? Take me. Kidding.
Dying during baptism is pretty crazy, though.
It's like, but you got to think like, oh, well, the Lord was here. And the Lord was just like, I'll just snatch. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Truth Nation is the best fan base in the country.
I won tickets last week on your show to see The Wiz. I just wanted to call and say thank you and say I appreciate you. I appreciate the show. I appreciate the station. That was a core memory that was made last night. The Wiz was an amazing performance.
We want you to tap into the talk and text line every show, every day at 833-212-1017. Milwaukee Black Talk, 1017 The Truth.
I'm very familiar with Gruber Law Offices because they're always out in the community.
Gruber Law Offices are known to be honest, hardworking.
They're always involved in our neighborhoods.
Gruber Law Offices make our community a better place.
They are the best. For nearly 40 years, Gruber Law Offices has helped people throughout Wisconsin. If you're injured, we're here to help. One call, that's all.
Wisconsin would not be the same without Gruber Law Offices.
The baked potato just became the main event. At Loaded Spud, we take comfort food and turn it into something bold. Fresh baked potatoes piled high with creative toppings like buffalo chicken, steak and cheese, and classic loaded favorites, all made fresh and built to satisfy. Big flavor, generous portions, no shortcuts. It's fast, affordable, and proudly local. Loaded Spud, Milwaukee's most unexpected comfort food. Stop in today at 789 North Water Street or visit online at www.letsgetloaded.online. Hi, this is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth, and I want to talk to you about something bigger than just buying a house. I'm talking about building a legacy. Owning a home isn't just about 4 walls and a roof. It's about giving your kids a place where memories are made, where birthdays are celebrated, and where they always belong. It's about planting roots, knowing your neighbors, waving from the porch, and being a part of a community that feels like family. If you've been renting and wondering if home ownership is even possible, Axe Housing is here to work work with you. An Axe Housing coach will help you create a plan, a budget, and move step by step toward owning a place you can truly call your own. They've already helped over 4,000 families become homeowners, and many are paying less than they were paying for rent. Don't let where you are today stop your family's tomorrow. Start your journey at axhousing.org. That is ACTS housing.org. Your legacy begins at home.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
It starts with a spark, and at Milwaukee College Prep, that spark turns into something extraordinary. From age 3 through 8th grade, MCP nurtures brilliance, building scholars with knowledge, character, and confidence. 88% of students face economic hardship, but that does not define them, because at MCP, every child's potential shines. With 4 campuses and one powerful mission, college and beyond. MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com to enroll or get involved. That's MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com, where Milwaukee's future begins to shine. And to Toyette, am I saying it right? I don't prepare for 5 hours. So I get here at 7, and then the show is 3 hours. So the whole block of time. Hey, that's a long day. Okay, and I'm done at noon, which is perfect for me. 25 hours a week is a lot of work. If you do it right, it is. Here's what I can't understand. I can't understand a lot of stuff. I gotta make sure I get to these neighborhoods because I want to know whose fault it is that black people aren't doing good. Should white people feel responsible? Yes or no? Do black lives matter? Or do all lives matter? All these questions and more, Monday through Friday on The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. Why do people equate success with being really busy? There's a person that we all know, and they're forever trying to get on my calendar, and they say stuff like, "Oh my God, Sherwin, I know you're so busy, and I know that you don't have any time." I'll make time for anything I want. And people assume, like, oh, wow, really super successful. And I'm not even saying I'm all that successful. I'm doing okay for me. And what I do may not be enough for y'all. I prioritize time to do what I want. Like, that, to me, is success. If I have more time for Sherwin stuff, that's success. It makes no damn sense to work 12, 15 hours a day, 100 hours a week. You got all this damn money, but you're worn out, you're tired. Your anxiety is high. You're not eating right. You're unhealthy. Your blood pressure is high. Screw that. Like, oh, Sherwin, you must be so busy. Nah, not really. Not at all. I don't want to be busy. Only people that have some kind of like insecurity where they think they always have to be doing stuff. I got friends like that socially, like they always got to be out. Sherwin, it's going to be 62 degrees today, man. Let's go out. It's going to be a lot warmer than that in a couple of months. Slow down. Just because the sun is shining don't mean I got to be out somewhere. They always feel like they got to take advantage of every single moment. And what I found, and this is just my anecdotal, they lost a parent early. They lost a parent young. Like my homegirl, she's an orphan. She was raised by her parents, but they both passed away. And she's like, oh, my mom passed away at 39. My dad passed away at like 50 or something. She's like, I got to do everything. I got to go here. But you're driving yourself crazy, booking all this stuff and making sure that every single waking moment you're doing stuff. I don't like to do stuff. I really don't. And I have to explain to people. That's another thing. I don't really explain myself. If somebody asks me a question, I'll answer it, but I'm not explaining. Sherwin, how come you don't want to do all these extra things? Yeah, I don't want to. Huh? But there's stuff to do. There's many, many things. Some of it won't help you at all. Some of it won't help anybody. But Sherwin, there's many things you should be doing. How come you don't want to do a bunch of stuff you don't want to do? 'Cause it's Saturday. You know what I used to do on Saturday mornings? Eat sugary cereal and watch cartoons until Soul Train came on. Bring back that. Bring those days back. I mourn those days before the world got all screwed up. Internet screwed y'all up. Y'all are messed up. It screwed them up. People don't know how to interact. They don't know how to communicate. I don't like it. I'm mourning my childhood. You should just live and just do stuff. If there was a tree, maybe I'd climb it. If there was a kite, I'd fly it. If there was a mall, I'd walk around it and shop it. You just did stuff. Now I gotta play Fortnite. I gotta make sure nobody swats me. Is that what they call swatting, where you call the police? Oh, there, so-and-so's got a dead body in their basement. Now the cops are breaking down your door. What?
People are crazy.
Shout out to Mark Lapierre. I grew up with Mark. Mark just got married. Mark is old like me, but I grew up with Mark. I know Mark almost my whole life. Sorry for using your last name, Mark. But I call him Mark Lapierre. You know, some people you just say the first name and the last name when you refer to him. Mark Lapierre had a test third or fourth hour. We had a payphone in the lobby at Browndale High School. Right when you walk in the first set of doors, right to the left, there was a payphone. Mark had a test like second hour or third hour. He didn't want to take the test. Put a quarter in the phone. This is where he's probably a freshman. I'm a junior. Because he told everybody he was going to do it. He was like, yeah, I don't want to take that test second hour. We're like, okay, don't take it. He's like, watch this. Goes to the payphone. Drops a quarter in. Calls the main office. Says there's a bomb threat. Okay? I'm not kidding you. This is if I'm a junior, this is either 91 or 92. Called in a bomb threat from the payphone at Browndale High School. You know what the secretary said? Well, then I guess the school's going to have to blow up. And hung up on him. Do that now. Do it now. Look what happens. Little bastards, because of Columbine. They actually had pipe bombs.
Columbine plus like 120 other, or way more others after that, yeah.
Called in a bomb threat, and the secretary was like, pfft. It was almost like, yeah, do it. I wish somebody would. I'm tired of working here, too. And then I think he didn't even get in trouble because we all knew it was him, and we just were talking about it, and we just thought it was funny. You can't, listen to me, I got to be careful now. No one calling a bomb threat. And plus, now if you call in a bomb threat, FBI immediately, you're cooked. They're going to get you. They're going to triangulate your cell phone. They're going to find your DNA on the receiver of the phone. You're done for. You are, even if you use a Google voice phone number, they're going to track the IP address. No, you can't do that now. Because we're thinking, like, okay, Mark is going to call in a bomb. I hope the statute of limitations expired on that. I hate for dude to get arrested now. But Mark calls in this, look at Benjamin. Shout out to Benjamin in the 3rd Street Market Hall. Look at my guy. All right now, Benjamin. I asked one time, last time he was here, if I could let him come in the studio. I was like, you better not.
Oh, really? You can't talk?
Nah, I don't want to get in the way of.
He's a funny guy.
He's fantastic.
Yeah.
He could call.
Yeah, we should have him call in.
I mean, that's up to him. So we're all thinking like, oh, damn, Mark's going to call in a bomb. Well, hell, we get to get out of class too. No, we all had to go to class, and I bet Mark failed the test. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be back for hour 3.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
In 1987, the Bucks took on the world and changed basketball forever.
At stake, basketball supremacy in the United States.
Bucks versus the World, narrated by Charlie Behrens, is the new season of Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. It's the untold story of the 1987 McDonald's Open, when the Bucks became the first NBA team to face the Soviet Union. Listen now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Milwaukee Black Talk.
You don't want to be there. You don't like the work. You don't like the people. Now, there are some differences. The only difference is modern American slavery and capitalism versus 19th century. We were dramatically more primitive back then. And a slave that is able to buy their freedom is the same as the disaffected, disgruntled worker that is able to buy their way into entrepreneurship, because that for them is freedom.
Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m.
People don't realize that glaucoma is one of the leading causes of blindness.
Because there are often no early symptoms, nearly half of those with glaucoma may not even know they have it until vision loss has occurred. I was diagnosed with normal tension glaucoma in July of 2020. And what we found out at that point was I had already lost 40% of my sight. And you think it only affects people that are, 75 or older, retired, grandparents, and that's not the reality of it.
I didn't think at all glaucoma was going to affect me because I didn't know of anyone that had glaucoma, no one in my family. When you have glaucoma, you can't get back that sight that you lost. And so early detection and treatment is vitally, vitally important.
Don't miss life's most beautiful moments. Schedule an eye exam today.
National Glaucoma Research, a Bright Focus Foundation program, offers free resources and tips for healthy vision.
Learn how to protect your sight at stopglaucoma.org.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
There are many times I thought, I can't do this. I mean, what parent isn't worried about? What am I not doing right? What am I not doing enough? And then I realized, wait, that's being a parent.
Don't worry about being perfect. I've had around 3 other mother figures in my life, but only one of them has taught me how a mother loves.
The greatest reward for me is he makes me better every day.
I would tell a family considering adopting a teenager that teenager, whoever it is, needs you, and they need what you have to offer.
Taylor's given me hope. He's our son, and that is what he will always be.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
All of your favorite 1017 The Truth content whenever you want. The Truth app has it all. The Truth is on 1017 and 1510 WGKB Waukesha, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Welcome to Hour 3 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. Number 5 on the list of best performing neighborhoods in Milwaukee. Washington Heights. Median income is $65,000 to $85,000. 55+% have at least a bachelor's degree. The quality of life is strong with historic homes, plenty of parks, and improving retail, especially up and down Valete Street. Opportunities are growing with the professional class and has got great proximity to downtown. It should be noted that Washington Heights is 70% Caucasian, 20% African American, 5 to 10%, they say, Hispanic. Number 4, they list Wauwatosa even though it's not in the city, but there's the lines between Milwaukee and Wauwatosa in some places is literally by the color of the street sign. Wauwatosa, they say it's Milwaukee adjacent, often included in city comparisons. The median income in Wauwatosa is $110,000 a year. Let me also say this about Wauwatosa. They have at least 2 Black Common Council residents. If I'm not mistaken, Sean Lowe just got reelected to his second or third term to the Common Council. You know, he won by a single vote. X, I might have to put you to work. So there, it was on the news because there was one absentee ballot. The vote was tied. This was in, it's got to be 20, what year is this? 26? 22. Maybe it was a special. If you look up, if you can't find it, that's fine. I don't know if the video clip has survived. But he tied the person that he was running, literally tied. And in this aldermanic district, one person voted by mail. And they opened the ballot live on the air. The one news station covered it. Maybe WISN. I think it might have been Channel 12. And they had their cameras there when the ballot was going to be open. And it also was a great cautionary tale. Yes, your vote matters, because it was between a white guy and Sean Lowe, who would have been the first African American to ever represent Wauwatosa on their common council. Now I think they got a black woman too, right? It's Sean Lowe, Seanlowe, wins aldermanic seat by 1 vote. And shout out to Sean, man. I've been knowing Sean since, good heavens, 25 years probably. He used to be with the Urban League Young Professionals. I was with them for a little while till I wasn't. Yeah, it just wasn't for me, you know? And the scream he scrum when they opened up that ballot and it said Sean Lowe. So, you know what? Not all heroes wear capes. Whoever that person was that cast their mail-in ballot for Sean Lowe, they made history, and so did Sean Lowe. So just a little background about Wauwatosa. All right, 65+% of the people in Wauwatosa have a bachelor's degree. You said you have it, X? Do you have the video to it? Oh. All right, take your time. I want us to see the video because it's so good. It's one of those moments, you know, we need moments that brighten us up. If I wouldn't have won, I couldn't imagine being in that situation, right? You come to find out that the vote is literally tied. You got the same number of votes as somebody else, and there's one ballot left to count, and it's the only mail-in ballot that came in for that particular alderman. And we're going to play it for you because his excitement is the best part. We're going to play the video too, hey, X? All right. It's so good. I don't know what well, I'm doing a little thing on Milwaukee neighborhoods. All right, quality of life. Quality of life, they say, is very high. Schools, healthcare hubs like Freighter. Oh, Freighter is one of our major employers, and they're located in Wauwatosa. And there's a lot of professional opportunities for people that live in Wauwatosa. Medical field, biotechnology, and corporate. Wauwatosa, however, is 85% white. It is 5% black, and it's 5 to 7% Hispanic. The number 3 best quality of life neighborhood in Milwaukee, now we're getting back to the city proper, is Bayview. Median home income is $95,000 a year. 60+% of the residents have a bachelor's degree. Quality of life is high. Restaurants, arts, entertainment, and lakefront access. Opportunities include lots of small businesses and a very creative economy. Bayview also, same as Wauwatosa, 85% white, 12% Hispanic, and 3% black. Notice a trend here. These most successful, most prosperous, best quality of life neighborhoods in the city of Milwaukee, with Wauwatosa being included because it's city adjacent, are overwhelmingly Caucasian. Number 2 is the Upper East Side. So Upper East Side, think near UW Milwaukee. Lower East Side, that'd be Brady Street, okay? So the Upper East Side. Median home income is between $75,000 and $110,000 a year. 70% of the people in that neighborhood have a bachelor's degree, which makes sense because UW Milwaukee is in that neighborhood. Quality of life is high. There's parks, there's a lakefront, and there's a density of services, including Columbia St. Mary's. There's a lot of opportunities in the education field, healthcare field, and lots of professional jobs. The Upper East Side is 75% white, 12% black, 12% Hispanic, and 5 to 10% Asian, they say. The number 1 neighborhood in the city of Milwaukee. And I don't disagree. I spend a lot of time in this neighborhood, not necessarily because it's quote-unquote number 1. I just like it. It's got a spirit that I enjoy. And it also, the neighborhood, which is listed as the top neighborhood in all of Milwaukee, demographically, it's 80% white. The residents are 80% white, but it's very diverse. I see many different colors of people in this neighborhood. In fact, I was just there on Tuesday. I spent some time in the historic 3rd Ward. Median income is $120,000 plus. The per person income is $80,000 a year. Education, 3/4 of the residents have at least a bachelor's degree. Quality of life is listed as highest in the city of Milwaukee because it's walkable. There's transportation options because you got the streetcar. You have access to the lakefront. There's a thriving art and cultural community there, and also there are jobs. Hell, Summerfest is in the 3rd Ward. If you think about that for a second, they probably hire 4,000 people a year. Opportunities in finance, tech. Oh, you also have the water hub because, Milwaukee is leading the world in freshwater technology. That's also in Third Ward. Technically the Harbor District, but Third Ward-esque. Finance, tech, professional services cluster in the Third Ward. Housing, high-end condos with very rapid appreciation. Neighborhood is 80% white, 10% black, 10% Hispanic. Asian/other make up the remainder. You got it? Excellent. Let me refresh my YouTube. I want to see. This is when Sean Lowe became the first African-American to win a common council seat in Wauwatosa. Such a joyous moment. All right, let's go.
District 5, Sean Lowe.
Wow, it was an emotional moment as one provisional ballot broke a tie today in the race for Wauwatosa's 5th Aldermanic District. Sean Lowe came out victorious. He will be the first African-American man elected to the city's common council.
Why is Chelsea Crawford there? Chelsea, did you?
It's not about me. It's about the future of Wauwatosa. I'm just happy to be part of it.
Look at that.
Now, voters also in Tosa elected Margaret Arney, the city's first African-American woman to be on the city council.
Oh, look at that. They got it.
Well, back here.
All right, then. It's the scream for me. It's an emotional moment. What do you expect? He was very happy. So look at Tosa becoming blacker and blacker by the day. Why don't we do this? Take a break, come back. I probably should read some text messages. Oh, speaking of which, Benjamin just texted me. I asked him how long he was going to be here at the market hall. He says, just in and out. And then he does a follow-up text message. Benjamin sends to me, you want me to come on?
Yeah.
No, we can't.
It sounds like a great idea.
The circumstances of his departure do not give me, Sherwin Hughes, the latitude and the authority to bring him back on there. Because I asked before because he was here, I think he was here with Carrie too. This was months ago. I was like, oh, it'll be fun to bring him on. They were like, nah, can't do that. So, shout out to Benjamin. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, it's that time of year again for the Tory Lowe Community Cleanup. Mark your calendars for Saturday, April 18th from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. as we'll be cleaning up the city of Milwaukee. You can also safely get rid of hazardous household items thanks to MMST. Drop off your items from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. at MLK Elementary School. We're talking things like all antifreeze, paint thinners, batteries, and pesticides. Sign up now at ToryLoweCleanup.com. The Tory Lowe Community Cleanup is sponsored by Milwaukee College Prep, Steinhoffels, Cousin Sub, and Waste Management.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on where you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Still think you're going to use those old chemicals just sitting around under the sink, in the garage, or down in the basement? So don't let them sit there. Get rid of them right away. To MMSD's Home Hazmat Drop-Off Centers. It's safe, it's easy, and it's open to all Milwaukee County residents. There are 3 locations open year-round. The Tory Lowe Community Cleanup is happening April 18th and with a mobile drop-off to help you clear out that waste. Visit us at MLK Elementary School at 3275 North 3rd Street from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Let's clean up Milwaukee.
At UW Credit Union, we have best-in-class technology and peopleology. Like if you lose your card, you can stop by in-branch for a same-day replacement, or you can have a new one instantly issued to the app. So whether you prefer interacting with our snappy online interface or our in-person regular faces, UW Credit Union is always here for every you. And whichever you choose, it's the best of both worlds. Join today at uwcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
join me tomorrow at 11 a.m. for the Milwaukee Experience with Sherwin Hughes, presented by Visit Milwaukee. This is a city that knows how to celebrate, where the calendar is packed with festivals and the plates are piled high with flavor. See, here in Milwaukee, every street leads to something worth savoring. It's a place that welcomes you with open arms, where joy is shared through bites, our favorite DJs' beats, and cheers to our favorite sports teams. The Milwaukee Experience every Friday at 11 a.m. exclusively on The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, presented by Visit Milwaukee. Tomorrow I'm going to have Eric Shea James on the show. He designed a Milwaukee sneaker, an Adidas that pays homage to a great city by a great lake. Now, Milwaukee is not perfect, and I just listed for you the top 5, technically top 4 Milwaukee neighborhoods. We also included Wauwatosa, but Wauwatosa has 2 African-American representatives on their council, so they are sharing some of the diversity that we have here in our city. We're comparing quality of life and income and opportunities and amenities, all those things. So those were the top 5 Milwaukee and Milwaukee adjacent neighborhoods, and they averaged about 75 to 80% white. Now, I have a list of the worst, using those same measures and metrics, the worst neighborhoods in Milwaukee, and I'm going to give you the statistics and the details. But whose fault is that, though? Because we continue to talk about it, because it's newsworthy. If you have such contrasts in quality of life, in education, in income, and it really impacts people. It does. It impacts their overall health, their well-being. It impacts the developmental environment that their children are growing up in. And remember, we want to have a very protective and nurturing developmental environment for children, because one day they will grow up and they will be our future leaders, you see. But if these disparities that almost seem carved in stone, if they still exist, and they do, and they don't really seem to be getting much better, in those neighborhoods are not better. If people leave those neighborhoods, then their chances for improving their quality of life get dramatically better than if they stay and try and change it. But whose fault is it? And we can look at the history. And the history kind of laid out the foundation. The people who live here are going to have less opportunity, less resources, in favor of people that live on the other side of the tracks. Okay, cool. But now we're 26 years into the 21st century. Yes, this is a part of the historical record of these neighborhoods being dilapidated and overwhelmingly poor, and there's also a crime component too. But isn't it time out for that, though? Because they are wholly unproductive neighborhoods that do contain American citizens and Milwaukee residents and voters and taxpayers. Those folks that live in these neighborhoods I'm on the list, they buy stuff, they pay taxes, they pay sales taxes. Directly and indirectly, they're paying property taxes. Should their quality of life be as low as it is, unless we're blaming them, is it their fault? In this day and age, I mean, maybe this is a rhetorical question. Maybe it fits into, do Black Lives Matter? Yes, no. Do all lives matter? Which is our YouTube question of the day. With all the opportunities that exist to get money or to make a living, there's many. You can be very creative. The internet can provide job opportunities. You can have total online business. You can work from home. There's so many ways you can make money. Is it the poor person's fault? Are they just unmotivated? Some might say, oh, Sherwin, they just don't know about the opportunities. Google is a motherfather. Google plus Claude, Gemini, Grok, Chat GPT, it can not only tell you where the jobs are at, it can tell you how you can make money, how you can invest your money, how you can do so many things. Is it poor people's fault that they live in squalor? And there's no judgment here. But if these neighborhoods that I'm about to list are in such deplorable shape, even still to this day, 26 years into the 21st century, where we have all of this opportunity and education and technology at our fingertips, like, what gives here? And who's benefiting from their poverty? That's something else to think about as well, because maybe if it's benefiting more people that we have these cohorts of poverty, well, then let them stay poor. The 5th worst neighborhood in the city of Milwaukee is the Amani neighborhood. It's the 53206 cluster. You knew that neighborhood was going to make an appearance. But it's the fifth, meaning there's four worse. Median income is $20,000 a year. I think in the best neighborhoods that I read, the top income is $110,000 a year on the Upper East Side. That's $90,000 a year difference. That is an entirely different lifestyle. The Amani 53206 neighborhood, median income is $20,000 a year. Education levels, they don't even give a percentage of high school graduates. They just say very low. Quality of life is among the lowest in the city. Crime, unemployment, and major health disparities. Economic opportunities, severely constrained. Get this. It's 97% black. 97% black. Number 4 is Franklin Heights. I think that's a north side neighborhood, right? Franklin Heights, first aldermanic district, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. 30+% of the residents live in poverty. Median income is between $25,000 and $35,000. Education level is listed as low. Quality of life offers limited amenities and some of the highest crime in the city of Milwaukee. The Franklin Heights neighborhood is 95% black. Number 3, you're not going to like this one. Sherman Park. Median income is between $30,000 and $40,000 a year. The education level, they say, is low to moderate, so it's making, I guess, some improvement. Quality of life is mixed, some stability, but high poverty pockets. The Sherman Park neighborhood is 90% black, and they list white/Hispanic as small percentage. Not a number, just small. Number 2 is Harambe. Income in the Harambe neighborhood is $25,000 a year. Less than 15% of the Harambe residents have a bachelor's degree. Quality of life, historically significant black neighborhood, but economically distressed. Opportunities are limited, though there has been some redevelopment in past years in the Harambe neighborhood. The Harambe neighborhood is 95% black. Metcalf Park, they list as the worst neighborhood in the city of Milwaukee. The poverty rate is better than 60%. The median income is $20,000 a year. The education attainment is exceptionally low, with less than 10% having a bachelor's degree. Quality of life, they say severe challenges, crime, and housing distress. The Metcalf Park neighborhood is 95% black. Whose fault is it? Let's ask someone who I think knows the answer. Hello, Al. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing wonderful, but for those neighborhoods that's doing very well, they're not pushing no rap snacks. They're not pushing no Section 8 with a black woman with a roller set, because you know your black politicians with the inner city, they always got a hard hat and a shovel on. But when you look at them other neighborhoods, you don't see them pushing no rap snacks, no shovels, and no Section 8. That's probably why the reason why Dave Chappelle said, if you bring us Section 8, I'll pull my MF $1 million out. Also, you don't have a bunch of those people in them successful neighborhoods using it as a pity party to get a vote, like black people is destitute and impoverished, and they ain't standing on TV lying through them crooked bow-legged teeth talking about what they gonna do, and Mr. Mother Sucker catch multiples at the last minute. That's why we got all these big Mississippi watermelon potholes, and then when you ask the N-word something, they don't got nothing to say. But also within us, we got to change that N-word culture. That's what's stopping us. So when you look at other neighborhoods, you don't see them praising no rap snacks. You don't see them neighborhoods where they got highly education, them talking about, well, you know, we got going through mental health. We're going to get some food pantries, and we're going to put up some Section 8. And let's make sure Sister Girl got her roller set, because we know she's going to be happy spending $15 a month for rent when you got them broken up blinds. So when everything gets tore up and tore down, we can sell them to Barada. You don't see that. And you don't see them politicians using them as no pity party. my mama had 7 kids and got evicted. Well, it seemed like it was something going wrong in your household, boo-boo. So that's why. And also, we as black people got to start doing better. Now, if you want to be lazy and sit on a crack of your ass and be broke, you can do that up at Waukesha. But we got to stop grouping them kind of people with us. Those are not black people. We don't care where they go. We don't care where they come from. Use them people as a pity party to get the vote. And if you're running, let me repeat, if you're running, don't use black people as a pity party. We don't care. Say what you can do. And moving forward, there is nothing wrong with having sugar daddies and sugar mamas.
Amen.
It is it's all about mental penetration. And you cannot be a 304 if you're single. It's just you have a unique appetite, and it's about how it's delivered. And when it's good, nobody talks. Just make sure you know what your body can take, and make sure what your body can put out. Oh, yeah. And as long as there's terms and conditions, everybody will be okay. So I wanted to share that information. But for the people who don't want to do right, they can get out. Yeah. For your politicians, can you please, politicians, if you're listening, stop bringing mental health. I don't know if you're just trying to stand with the white folks, because if you keep telling black people they crazy, they're going to start thinking they crazy. I don't think black people crazy. I think you black politicians is crazy. Because if black people start thinking highly of themselves, then they're going to have a bigger demand for you. But if you can keep them destitute and impoverished, if they only good for is cheap rent, that's less you have to do. Now, you go over there to the wealthy neighborhoods and see if you can push that bull sugar honey iced tea. And we don't care nothing about you putting on a pantsuit or an uncomfortable dress and sitting on the crack of your ass getting zits and Route 66 stretch marks. If you don't like it, take your stuff and get the F out and don't ask us for a goddamn vote. Have a good day.
Thank you. All right then, Al. That was a beautiful soliloquy.
Very passionate.
Yep. So you need to get off of the crack of your John Brown hind parts and get out there and get it. Stop telling black people that they're crazy. Stop it. Because clearly, one thing you will get from this show is that when you listen to it, you realize that black people, we're not crazy at all. Not us. No. We're the most sane people on the planet.
Sounds about right to me.
Maybe we are the sane ones and everybody else is crazy.
You know, I think that every day. You already know my opinion of the world.
I have an explanation, but it's controversial.
Oh, we love controversy here.
Do we?
I do.
Let me get a sip of my water. Still got a little bit of ice left in it, too. I think we all died during COVID, and this is hell.
You know what? I was thinking the same thing. Doesn't it seem like everything is going so fast after COVID happened, and
we all
the
died.
world's upside down?
It actually wiped out the human species, but hell is not. It is not what you think. You don't go somewhere. No. It is your exact same. And every day isn't bad. And there's some good days in hell. But the overall trajectory from this point forward is really, really bad and getting worse. You had an American president threaten a genocide in collaboration with a country that was created because of their genocide, now participating in genocide. COVID actually wiped out the earth. We all died. There was no immunity. All this was just, we died. And this is all just like a fever dream. We died. We're dead.
Yeah, I don't think that was that controversial.
We died. It just, no human being, like it was created in a lab. It got out, somebody made it, oh no. COVID got out and it just wiped us all out. It wiped out everybody in China. And since we're all dead, the Heavenly Father was like, let's Well, I tried with them, but they kept like fighting each other, and they kept being like really super racist and homophobic. They started hating my own children. I created everybody, and they just couldn't get along. Let's just wipe them all out, but just recreate the existence with my homeboy Satan. Like, Satan, you can have him. And he was like, cool, my turn. And then, yeah, we all died during COVID, and we are currently living in hell. That being said, don't you call black people crazy. What are these here? Oh, you ready for this? Still think you're going to use those old chemicals just sitting around under the sink in the garage or down in the basement? Yeah, probably not. Don't let them sit there. Get rid of them right away. Take hazardous waste to MMSD's Home Hazmat Drop-Off Center. It's safe, it's easy, and it's open to all Milwaukee County residents. Plus, there are not one, no, not two, 3 locations open year-round. Tory Low Cleanup is happening April 18th with a mobile drop-off to help you clear out that waste and keep your neighborhood clean. For hours, location, and a full list of what you can bring, check out MMSD.com. That's M as in mom, M as in mom, S as in Sam, D as in Dave Chappelle.com. Let's clean up Milwaukee. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Are you planning a special event? Do you need a personal chef? Either way, make it tasteful. I'm Alicia the Chef, owner of Tasteful Events Catering, and we create customized food experiences for any occasion. We bring quality, flavor, and professionalism to every table. Whether it's a special event or everyday meal solutions, we focus on delivering more than just food. We create experiences. Book today or learn more online at www.tastefuleventscatering.com.
Many of our most important memories are made at school. But for children like Victoria, the classroom can be a place of fear and isolation. She wore a bandage over her cleft every day, too shy to speak, too afraid to smile. Everything changed after one life-transforming surgery made possible by Smile Train. Today, Victoria's smile lights up her classroom, a symbol of confidence, connection, and new beginnings. Due to stigma, children with untreated clefts often miss out on school entirely. But thanks to Smile Train, students like Victoria are stepping into the classroom, raising their hands, and finding their voice. Smile Train partners with local experts to support with free cleft surgeries and other comprehensive care, empowering children to thrive in school and in life. Let's help every child walk into the classroom with confidence. Visit smiletrain.org/learn.
Real talent is defined by what people can do, not where they learn to do it. So by stopping at the education section of a resume, you might throw away the perfect hire. You might miss someone who has valuable skills to offer to help your business thrive right now and in the future. Because the truth is this: Skills First Hiring helps you see talent others miss, like more than 70 million stars, skilled through alternative routes. When you let their story unfold, you gain a competitive advantage, because hiring managers who start with skills are 60% more likely to find a successful hire. See the real person, complete. See what others miss. Hire skills first. Learn why it's a competitive advantage at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Hi, this is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth, and I want to talk to you about something bigger than just buying a house. I'm talking about building a legacy. See, owning a home is not just about 4 walls and a roof. It's about giving your kids a place where memories are made, where birthdays are celebrated, and where they always know they belong. It's about planting roots, knowing your neighbors and waving from the porch and being a part of a community that truly feels like family. If you've been renting and wondering if home ownership is even possible for you, Axe Housing is here to help. An Axe Housing coach will assist you in creating a plan, building a budget, improving your credit, and moving step by step toward owning a place you can truly call your own. They've already helped over 4,000 families in our area become homeowners, and many are paying a lot less. I mean, a lot less than what they're paying for rent. Don't let where you are right now stop your family's bright tomorrow. Start your journey at axhousing.org. That is ACTShousing.org, axhousing.org. Your legacy begins at home. All right. What have we learned today? Whose fault is it? Is it black people's fault that we still live in great poverty and there's crime in our neighborhoods? We can tell you the history of it. Or do we just say, you know what, this was a pattern that was laid down many generations ago and we are doomed to break it? Or do you just leave those communities? If you want to be successful and you live in the Metcalf Park neighborhood, 53206, or some of the others that are listed as very, very bad, low educational attainment, high crime, lots of poverty, Harambe, Sherman Park, Franklin Heights, do you just leave, go somewhere else? Or is it worth it to repair and to fix those neighborhoods? If you say yes, it's worth it to invest and to turn those neighborhoods around, who should do it? Let's assume the people that live there, they're too busy focused on the everyday struggles of life and they can't participate in meaningful community work. Then who else should come in? And you can't argue with the people that come in, because if the community residents themselves are disempowered or unavailable to do what needs to be done to make those necessary improvements, then don't complain about the people that want to assist, because they're volunteering their time. Or maybe they're doing it because they want to make a profit. But to continue to recite these very sore statistics, and all the neighborhoods, ladies and gentlemen, have some things in common. They are 95+% African American, and the incomes barely go above $40,000 a year. Poverty rates in some of these cases, I believe in Metcalf Park, is something like 60%. Those are the people that have met and exceeded the threshold for poverty. You can be 20% above the poverty line and not have a decent quality of life just because everything gets so much more expensive. Because it's starting to get redundant repeating which places and neighborhoods, and you're very familiar with them because when you watch the news or you read our local publications, you see where the shootings were, where the homicides were, and it's very discouraging for obviously the people that live there, but it discourages investment. Like, what are we going to do other than having a neighborhood cleanup, which you got to have those, because maybe that creates a sense of community. It brings people together, brings people out of the house that all have something in common. They want the neighborhood to at least appear better to a passerby. But somebody needs to do something, or do we extract what we can get when you have a neighborhood that is deep in the throes of poverty? Because if you can illustrate that a place or a space, let's say there's low educational attainment as well, plus poverty, not a lot of jobs, not a lot of economic opportunity, then you can get like state grants. You can get money from the state to invest in the people. Job training and placement, maybe you get some additional funding for the public schools in those areas. Maybe you get some county resources. Maybe the county will offer to pay for a mentorship program so some of these wayward young black males. First of all, do we have mentors for girls? Are we letting the girls off the hook? I don't know if things have changed, but I remember my day. It was a great, fun time back then. 90% of what we did was for girls. If the girls back in our day were like, we like very smart boys that go to the library all the time and read books and build Lego houses, that's exactly what we'd be doing. We think guys that wear glasses are hot. We'd all have problem eyesight overnight. Are we discounting and discrediting the impact of young girls? Because we always talk about the boys. You know how many of these boys steal cars to go pick these little hot girls up? These little hot in the pants. Hot in the pants. That's all little boys want. Well, not nowadays. I don't know. These little boys might want each other nowadays. But hey, not my problem. That's not my circus, not my monkeys. If that's what But are we letting... Because there's just as many girls at these takeovers fighting and throwing ass, twerking. Wait till Brady Street. Wait till the warm weather. They throw so much butt. How can you throw... I know I can't throw butt. You know,
I see it a lot.
You see a lot of butt throwing?
Well, you know, I live right by Water Street and Brady Street, so I see, you know, sometimes at the end of the night when they're leaving, forgot the place, Mangoes. Oh yeah, they're turning up.
Mangoes, I think that's on Van Buren, right?
Yeah, but that's right next to
It is, yeah.
Brady and Water Street.
Is Libby's still there?
Libby's?
I guess not.
No.
So Libby's, I think Libby's is where Mangoes is. So Libby's was owned by an old mobster. His last name was Libriziano. Old school mobster, going back to the Frank Balistreri days. You didn't mess with Mr. Libriziano. He was real cool. Real cool. But you didn't mess with that dude. So he owned the property next door. And we were all in, so my friend was bartending one night. And so he was so cool that if the bartender, who was a friend of mine, whenever we came in to visit her, all of our drinks were free. He's like, oh, if she likes you, I like her, you too. I'm like, oh, thank you, Mr. Italian mobster. I thought you guys were all racist. He's probably like, I am a racist, but that's okay. So one night we're in there. Had a piano in there, too, in Libby's. So one night we're in there, and we see Mr. Libriziano. He's in his 80s. He's got to be dead now. He's got to be. And I'm not laughing. He runs out of the bar, and you've never seen a man this old. He just had this shock of white hair, and he bolts. I don't know what happened, but he bolts out of the front entrance of the place, and we're thinking, like, should we follow him? What's going on? And then maybe 30 seconds later, we hear, uh-oh, we know what that is. We're like, oh, maybe something happened across the street is what we're assuming. Then, I don't know, moments after that, Mr. Libriziano walks right back in and sits down at his seat at the bar. No one dares sit in his seat. Oh, I don't know, 3 minutes at max. The whole SWAT team. The whole SWAT. They walk into Libby. It's a Friday night and it's crowded with assault weapons. SWAT team does. Talk to Mr. Libriziano. They walk out. They left. Turns out he owned the apartment next door and the tenants did something. Somebody called and said, your tenant is doing this. It's going on right now. He goes over to the apartment next door, shoots his revolver into the ceiling to scare the tenant, and then just walk back down. And if y'all think that mob people aren't connected and can get away with murder, the SWAT team walked in, found out it was Mr. Libriziano that shot his gun inside of a building, and they all left. I'll never forget that. I said all that to say this. That is where Mangoes used to be.
Oh, okay. A little history lesson.
Oh, I got so many stories about this place. Victor's in particular. Would somebody please buy Victor's? Come on. I think they came down a little bit. I think they won 1.2. It's worth it. It's like 6,000 square feet. It's an institution. Somebody opened Victor's, but somebody buys it and tears it down and turns it into more stupid condos. It's stupid condos across the street. Across the street, remember, it used to be a Bally's workout fitness center, and it used to be Buca de Beppo. Both of them are gone. They tore them down, turned into stupid condos.
I heard great things about Victor's.
Oh, it was everything you wanted, sir. It was one of the best fish fries I've ever had. Incredible food. The cheesy mashed potatoes they had, next level. The steaks they had, the late night pizza they had, and the hoes.
Oh, yeah. I was more talking about the women.
The notable people that you would see, I mean notable, like media figures, local celebrities that would be at Victor's just hanging out because of the hoes.
Oh, yeah. No, that's the only reason I brought it up. I wasn't even worried about the food.
And you didn't say nothing. You just they're at Victor's, but so am I. New Year's Eve, Victor's was the only place. And I think Victor was an old Italian too, but they're the only place in the city of Milwaukee that had license to stay open 24 hours. So Victor's would open at noon, and they would serve lunch. And there'd be a lot of people, and this is New Year's Eve day now. And then they'd have their dinner menu, and people would come in for dinner. Then the DJ would start.
I'm surprised it closed. Every time I drive by it, it was packed.
Well, the family got tired of it. Because, you know, sometimes the kids and the grandkids don't want to carry on the family business. Victor's had been open since the 60s. And they just got tired of it. And some of the family members that had been around since the 60s, they want to retire. They don't. And so they offered it for sale. And that was probably 2 years it's been for sale. So we wouldn't go to Victor's early. This is when I was young, back when I could stay out past 11. Now, 11 o'clock, yeesh, what do you have me doing? That's too late for me. So we go to maybe Milwaukee Street, maybe we go to Kennedy's, maybe we go to Tangerine, maybe we go to apartment 720. I think back then when I was out in the streets, it was called Eve, or maybe we went to the Star Bar, or maybe we went to the Ladybug Club before the Ladybug Club turned into what the Ladybug Club turned into. But you got to go to Victor's. We would get to Victor's at 3:30, 4 o'clock, 4:30 in the morning, and the line would be down the block. And if you got in, or when you got into Victor's, it looked like it was 11 p.m. It just, you could not tell. And the sun would be coming up, and people would just party all night until noon the next day on New Year's Day when they closed. You can't even do that now. Now, if you have a place that's open 24 hours, it would get shot up. But Victor's never really dealt with any of that. Somebody buy Victor's. You blacks have a bunch of money. Pull your black money together. Pull your black dollars matter together and buy Victor's so we can have a place of our own. Maybe we turn it into a teen center. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. We'll be right back.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Join us for the Tory Low Community Cleanup on April 18th from 8 a.m. to noon. A chance to come together, give back, and make our neighborhoods shine. Presented by the Milwaukee Metropolitan Sewerage District. This event is all about community pride and keeping Milwaukee clean. And while you're out, take advantage of the mobile drop-off, open from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. at MLK Elementary School, 3275 North 3rd Street. Perfect for safely getting rid of unwanted items.
Hi, this is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth, and I want to talk to you about something bigger than just buying a house. I'm talking about building a legacy. Owning a home isn't just about four walls and a roof. It's about giving your kids a place where memories are made, where birthdays are celebrated, and where they always belong. It's about planting roots, knowing your neighbors, waving from the porch, and being a part of a community that feels like family. If you've been renting and wondering if home ownership is even possible, Axe Housing is here to work with you. An Axe Housing coach will help you create a plan, a budget, and move step by step toward owning a place you can truly call your own. They've already helped over 4,000 families become homeowners, and many are paying less than they were paying for rent. Don't let where you are today stop your family's tomorrow. Start your journey at axehousing.org. That is ACTShousing.org. Your legacy begins at home.
At Milwaukee College Prep, we don't leave success to chance. We're designed for it. With strong support, high expectations, and a team committed to excellence, our educators turn belief into outcomes every day. If you believe every child deserves an excellent education, join Milwaukee College Prep. Apply today. Visit mkeprep.com/jobs.
Hi, I'm Eric Zauner, Marine Corps veteran and board member for the Center for Veterans Issues, calling on the community to tee it up for a great cause. On Monday, June 15th, CVI is hosting its 5th annual golf outing at the River Club in Mequon. This year's event is supporting CVI's Permanent Supportive Housing Program, dedicated to assisting chronically homeless or disabled veterans and their families. Grab your clubs and support our veterans today. Register to golf, sponsor, or donate at cvivet.org/events.
prizes, exclusive experiences, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting truthcontests.com. That's truthcontests.com.
Happy kids heal faster, and that's why Starlight is dedicated to improving the mental well-being of sick kids across the U.S. Learn how at starlight.org.
Proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
It's that time of year again, ladies and gentlemen. Time for the Tory Low Community Cleanup. Mark your calendars for Saturday, April 18th from 8 a.m. until 12 noon as we'll be cleaning up the city of Milwaukee. Again, that is the Tory Low Community Cleanup, Saturday, April 18th from 8 a.m. until 12 noon. Bring the whole family to help clean up our city. The Tory Low Community Cleanup is sponsored by Milwaukee College Prep, Steinhoffels, Cousin Subs, and Waste Management. What have we learned today? Do Black Lives Matter? Let's check the YouTube poll. First of all, let's see how many votes we got. See what kind of participation we got. Okay, 96 votes. Can we get 4 more people to go to vote in the YouTube poll? Go to youtube.com or open up your YouTube app from your smartphone or other mobile device. Search 1017 The Truth. You got to hit subscribe, I believe, to be able to participate in the poll. So with 96 votes, oh, there you go, 97. Let me get 3 more. 57%. That number has remained unchanged all morning. When we started, now it went up to 58%. 58% say yes, Black lives do matter. And I brought it up today, and we talked about it today, because there was a mural that featured both Seville Smith and Dontre Hamilton that got painted over. And it got me, because that was a news story that I believe it appeared on the Journal Sentinel? No. Yes. And then I recall a time where Black Lives Matter was a thing, and people were wearing the T-shirts, and they were marching and chanting and protesting, and of course George Floyd. And people would display Black Lives Matter signs and placards in their windows. Businesses would oftentimes have Black Lives Matter signs in their windows. There was many protests. Some businesses would give out free water if you were a protester, if that business was on the protest route. It seemed like a real thing, like a real movement. But now it's faded. The only business that I can recall that still proudly displays a Black Lives Matter sign is one of my favorite. It's called The Mothership. It's buried deep in Bayview. It's an eclectic kind of place. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but here's the thing. If you like me, I like you. That goes with a lot of stuff, especially women. There's women that I like. Great. But you know who I like better? Women that like me. It's just a lot easier. Fellas, trust me. Find the woman that likes you, and hopefully you find something good about her. Even if you don't, your life will be much easier.
Very true.
She'll take care of you. She'll ask you if you ate. Sherwin, do you have any household labors that you would like for me to partake in so you can have more leisure time? Absolutely. So I'm wondering what happened to the motivation and the movement of Black Lives Matter. And then I gave you guys some information about the 5 best and the 5 worst neighborhoods in the city of Milwaukee, which is pretty obvious that the majority worst neighborhoods are 95+% African American, very little educational attainment, lots of poverty, lots of unemployment. And then, of course, the top neighborhoods that were listed with the information that I was searching for, 90+%, 80%. There's more diversity actually in the top performing neighborhoods than there is in the black ones. The black neighborhoods, the 5 worst African American neighborhoods in the city of Milwaukee, are almost exclusively African American. Whereas the top performing neighborhoods based on income, per capita income, opportunities, amenities, parks, healthcare, all those things, job opportunities, et cetera, are actually diverse. And I think that shows our progress, but it's not moving in commensurate with the bad neighborhoods, bad statistically. The people are not, I don't believe the people are bad. But then I ask the question, whose fault is it? Because do we have to go another year, another decade, another century, another millennia with the majority African-American neighborhoods that have been mired in negative statistics and poverty? Like, do we fix it or we just let it be? Is that where we relegate the people that we don't care about? This is the only place they can live, the only place they can afford? Whose fault is it? And then I mentioned, and I got to be careful when I mention this, because people that need knowledge don't know all of the things that they don't know. They may not know how to use Google searches and Claude and Gemini and ChatGPT and Grok. They may not know how to formulate these prompts and these requests to elicit answers that will actually bear some fruit for them. Speaking of bearing fruit, we talked about grocery stores closing, and the city of Milwaukee is very active and engaged in getting a grocery store to come to 64th and Silver Spring. I caution that because the profit margin, I come to find out, for grocery stores is razor thin. Razor thin. It's about 1%. In best cases, it's 5%, meaning, let's give you the best case scenario. If someone spends $200 on groceries and they fill up 2 carts, even though 2 carts of groceries is way more than $200, best case scenario is that grocery store is making $10 profit. $10 off of $200 worth of groceries. Now keep this in mind. The shrinkage, and I'm not saying that people that quote-unquote shop in grocery stores are the ones stealing. People that work in grocery stores start to steal. I gave the example earlier. If I'm in the back in a warehouse in a stock room with a grocery store, and we just got our shipment of Campbell's soup. We got the chicken noodle and the cream of mushroom, and you got the tomato soup, and you got the beef barley soup, and you got the clam chowder. It's 74 pallets of Campbell's soup. And I'm thinking to myself as I'm stocking the Campbell's soup, I sure do loves me some Campbell's soup. I think I have to take me a couple cans of this. We got 74 pallets of it. Now, remember, I work at the grocery store, and I stuff my little grocery store warehouse smock full of Campbell's soup. I go outside on my break to clearly smoke my cigarette, because all grocery store warehouse workers smoke cigarettes. And I put a couple cans of Campbell's soup in my vehicle. They got 74 pallets of Campbell's soup. I need you to think about this logically and realistically. The Campbell's soup that I just stole, even though it came from 74 pallets, that's the profit margin of the damn grocery store per cart that I just stole. And so if the city of Milwaukee is active and engaged in bringing grocery stores here, then the city of Milwaukee is going to be responsible when that grocery store ultimately has to leave. It's not malicious, ladies and gentlemen, that grocery stores are closing. A lot of times, the African-American community, because it's so oversaturated with people, it's densely populated, you need a lot of grocery stores. But if a business or a corporation like Kroger or Roundy's oversaturates and margins are going down and the cost of the fruits and the vegetables are going up, because we don't grow all that stuff here. A lot of that stuff comes from Mexico, comes from other places around the world, and Donald Trump put tariffs on all that stuff. The grocery stores can't survive a 50% tariff on avocados when their profit margin is only $1 per $100 spent by a shopper. Do you see what I'm getting at now? That led me to another question earlier in the program. What does the city of Milwaukee do well? LaRon stated in the YouTube chat some time ago that the city of Milwaukee partners well. The travel and tourism department here, or Visit Milwaukee, partners well with new businesses. Yeah, but do they do it well, though? What do we do well here in the city of Milwaukee? And I tried to get some details about that. And I'm not sure if bringing businesses here or the city of Milwaukee having a heavy hand in the operation of businesses that are low margin, like grocery stores, is one of the things that we do well. Just something to think about. Oh, by the way, Arsenio Hall was the greatest late-night talk show host in the history of television. Have a great day. I'll see you next time.
In 1987, the Bucks took on the world and changed basketball forever.
At stake, basketball supremacy in the United States.
Bucks versus the World, narrated by Charlie Behrens, is the new season of Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. It's the untold story of the 1987 McDonald's Open, when